Hello, Internet, and welcome to Wonderworld Origins. We are here for our finale, or at least our conclusion of this chapter of our Wonderworld adventure. So, thank you for joining us tonight. A couple things before we get into the game itself and kind of wrap everything up. We've got a lot of great stuff that is going on right now on the channel and some new things that are coming down the pipeline. We've been streaming a kind of a temporary thing. One of the modules from Tales from the Yawning Portal called the Hidden Shrine of Tomoe-chan. And we've been doing that. We've done 2 sessions of that. One was this last Monday. If you missed that, it's up on YouTube, or it's going to be going up on YouTube soon. So check that out. We've been having a lot of fun just kind of playing that through. If you're not familiar with Tales from the Yawning Portal or some of the older D&D modules or adventures, check it out. It's been a lot of fun. We also think we will have this Saturday is going to be the start of something new. We're going to be playing a show. So first and foremost, all of our programming moving forward on Saturdays, or all of our RPG programming at least, is going to be called Saturday Nights. Trying to make that more simple going forward. But this Saturday at 3 p.m. Eastern time, we will have Saturday Nights from 3 to 6 Eastern, where we will be playing. This week, we'll be playing some Fate. And we'll be talking about a little bit more what we're going to be doing going forward and kind of our idea for the game. We're going to be kind of stepping away from Misrule and trying out something new. But come and join us and get an idea of what's going to be going on there. It's going to be, like I said, we're going to be using the Fate system. We're going to be kind of workshopping some new characters, and we're going to be returning to Sarthia. The world of Survivors Complex, which if you haven't seen Survivors Complex, if you started watching now and you didn't sleep, you might be able to watch all of them before this Saturday. Maybe. There's like 63 episodes, and they're 4 hours long each. So probably not, but you could get through a chunk of them. So that's our plan for Saturday. Of course, true to form, we are running a little bit late on Cyberscape. I was supposed to go up yesterday. I'm hoping to get that up either tomorrow, probably tomorrow or Saturday. Had a lot of stuff going on this week, so thank you for bearing with us on that. But it will go up in the next 2 days. Think about anything else that is coming up. We have. Oh yeah. So starting on, well, it's a little bit far out, but starting on May 9th, so 4 weeks from today, we are going to be starting or picking up in this time slot, is going to be a game run by Savannah, which is going to be Monster of the Week is the system, and the game is going to be called All Myths Are True. And it's going to be a lot of fun. There are probably more details on it. I don't know if you want to talk about what's going to be happening next, or kind of what your vision for it is, to kind of give a teaser, Savannah, or you just want me to move on?
Not yet, but I'll prepare something
Okay.
for Saturday.
Okay.
More to come. Tune in on Saturday.
Yeah, so yeah, tune in on Saturday. We'll talk about it more, and we'll have tweets and stuff like that coming out to get you psyched for it. But that's what's going to be taking over on Thursdays. We're still going to have Mattrapony. I think we're going to be taking a week off from Mattrapony. No, I guess we'll play next week. Savannah, I realize we're scheduling this on the air. We'll be on for Mattrapony next Thursday.
Mattrapony will be on schedule for the foreseeable future.
For the foreseeable future. We're not going to have we're going to have a programming interruption the last week in April due to moving, but otherwise we're going to have everything else as usual. I'm stalling to not get into this. How was everybody's day? Good. Yeah, so we're getting into the finale here. It's going to be our last session of Wonderworld Origins. I've had a lot of fun running this game with you guys. Thank you, Ryan, for running the other half of it. I really appreciate for running the other half of it. You've inspired me to do a lot of things that I probably wouldn't have done otherwise with this game. And the rest of you have been awesome players to play with, too.
There would have been a lot more fireworks.
Yeah, there would have been. The fireworks industry would not have been crippled as it was. Anyway, so let's go ahead and get into it with our with Wonderworld Origins. So recapping what happened last time, we're just going to kind of talk through a little things. And I'm going to do my intro. We have sort of come to a head with everything going on from this group that formed during the false homecoming of last year. You have saved the day a number of times in Beacon City throughout these 2 semesters. You've stopped mechanical abominations. You have saved citizens from burning buildings. You have destroyed many fireworks factories, traveled through space and time, and found yourself thwarted at every turn by all sorts of monsters, enemies, and above all, an entity known as Zeitgeist. A being from the future that has a villain from the future that has sought to influence this time and age to make it something that it was not. You have been contacted by heroes of the future, one of which being Eternity, or Eternium, her alter ego, Irma, who has sort of guided you along the way, also being assisted with the first iteration of the Golden Duke, a gentleman by the name of Hector. You have, through these events of stopping Zeitgeist along the way, have learned of a convention or a gathering that Zeitgeist had tried to plan, and have sort of taken over that and tried to do something with it yourselves. You have organized this SuperCon that is going to be taking place in Beacon City, where all these superheroes are going, or super powered individuals, most of which have not done anything heroic yet, but are coming either in support of or to learn more about themselves and the Vigilantes, and hopefully stop whatever it is that Zeitgeist has planned. But before that, we come upon Carmen Dakota once again, standing microphone in hand outside of the Stan Lee Memorial Civic Center, delivering her report. I apologize for naming it the Stan Lee Civic Center as early as I did. I had no foresight into what was going to happen, but thank you, Stan Lee, for everything you've done for this genre. Anyway, continuing. This time, however, we don't hear her words. Instead, we pan back. Colorful signs wave in celebration surrounding the venue. They read, SuperCon, welcome, heroes of tomorrow. Hundreds of people, young and old, stand in wait to enter the arena, chattering and gossiping as they camp in droves across the lawn. Some are in costume, some dressed in red capes and black masks, some resembling familiar faces, dressed in glittering pink skirts covered in bark or glistening multicolored morph suits. Some hold signs which read, "Thank you, Vigilantes," or "Everyone can be a hero." Painting back further, however, we see a different scene. Dozens of police vehicles encircling the parking lot, interspersed with ominous black SUVs. The officers sit and wait as if preparing for a coming storm. Beyond that, a worse vision of the future. Crowds gathered in protest, waving signs reading, "Lock them up," and "Get out, freaks." Even on this early summer day, A chill runs through the air in anticipation for what is to come. But we start with a different celebration and something else altogether. In the I'll give some context about where we are beginning and kind of where we are in the time frame. So where we left off last time, shortly after prom, you had saved the school and who knows how many people from the being known as Anathema, who was revealed to be Steven, transformed at prom due to a terrible instance of bullying by some of your classmates. You were able to incapacitate Steven during this event and transport him to the power containment cell until he calmed down later in the weekend. Steven's fine, but he has no memory of what happened. He's returned to his normal life, but Hector has been keeping an eye on him, having some knowledge of what Anathema is to become in the future. Olivia, after your power explosion passed out at the event, your hair permanently stained silver as a result of the aging process your powers take on you. So, right now we're going to pick where we're picking up is at graduation at the reconstructed gymnasium at the school. There are throngs of parents and students all gathering outside the venue as people are flooding out from the interior. Students donning white hats, graduation caps with blue tassels, excitedly gather for photos, hug, shake hands, and cry as they exit the gymnasium. One of these individuals is Ian. And I kind of want to get the visual because Ian, you don't have necessarily a family that I imagine came to see your extended family that came in or anything. You're fairly alone, but I get the vision, or kind of where I wanted to start was coming out, all of your friends going to their families and distant relatives, and you walking out and standing there instead, Olivia, Rose, Lucas, and I imagine Olivia or Lucas wearing a little like wooden
lei. It's a lei.
Wearing
one
a
of
lei.
the graduation leis. I assume
Perfect. Is holding onto a lei that for a briefest moments you see sprout two little eyes, and a little like flower comes out and kind of waves for a moment. Please continue. I'd like to see the scene play out.
Well, thanks for coming, guys. I'm sorry you had to sit through that. I'm sorry I had to sit through that.
I'm just sorry you didn't biff it on the way to your walk.
We wouldn't miss it for anything.
Well, I'll make sure I come back next year when it's, Olivia and Lucas's turn. Rose, I guess you'll be, what, you're thinking you're a year behind schedule again now?
Yeah, at least that. Hopefully I'll graduate before I'm 30. So,
well, if that's the case, we'll throw a GED graduation party for you or something.
Thanks. I'm just glad you didn't beef it up there walking across the stage.
I've got enough experience moving around in, long, flowy outfits now, so.
I'm sure you do.
You were saying, Lucas?
I was just saying, if it's any consolation to Rose, you will be the biggest girl in school.
All right. What are we doing now? This is getting a little awkward and too emotional for me. we've got a thing tomorrow, in case anybody forgot.
I don't think any of us forgot.
Oh yeah, no, my salsa is aging fine for the dip that I was making. Am I still doing the food? Because I was preparing like I was gonna do the food.
Yeah, I totally forgot about that. Yeah, definitely the food. That's right.
Okay, good. I'm prepared.
Are we gonna have to pull an all-nighter to get this together?
I'm mostly done.
Well, last I saw, I think the attendance count was at around 2,800.
Oh, that's not panic
I'm
inducing
not
at
prepared.
all.
Oh boy.
I got us a sponsorship, so I think a lot of the food's going to be covered.
Oh, good.
Is the sponsor Ellen?
No. Food sponsorship.
One day.
For Papa Tony's Hut is going to be catering the event, so lots of pizza.
If Papa Tony is going to be sponsoring the events, then have we provided any sort of portable toilets or anything in the area? Because it's going to get very tricky afterwards if we don't have anything set up for that.
I think the convention center has restrooms, but I guess
I should
Not
certainly.
enough.
probably not enough.
Not enough.
I can supplement.
Pardon?
It's fertilizer. Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it.
I don't want to know.
Okay.
I don't want to know.
Yeah.
So, what are
Is
we...
it bad that I want to know?
Yes, please. Why don't we talk about that part? What would maybe be classified as off camera if this were some sort of show.
Speaking of pizza.
What
Let's go get something
Papa
to eat.
Tony does is not pizza.
Let's go get something to eat and stop having this conversation that we're having right now.
Yeah. Sounds good to me.
Well, at that moment, as if they could tell the future, you hear Irma's voice from the crowd behind you, and she says, "I can help with that." And you see Irma and Hector coming through the crowd. Irma smiling, and she walks over to you, Ian. She says, "Congratulations, Ian."
Thank you. Thanks for coming. Like I said to them, sorry you had to sit through that. I don't know if it felt like even more of a drag given your personality.
I skipped through the boring parts.
You okay over there, Ryan?
Ride's broken.
That's just, yeah.
It sounds very different hearing it classified as her personality.
yeah, exactly. It's like, are you all right? Given your personality.
you know.
She says, "Listen, why don't I treat you all to lunch?"
Sounds good. Yeah, I mean, we probably should have made actual plans, but we didn't.
Yeah, I sort of. Well, I didn't need powers to guess that part. So let's go. I have a reservation. Hector, want to clear us a path here? And Hector nods, says, "I'm on it," and turns around and starts like, "Excuse me, pardon me, coming through."
Princess Bride,
to get your
everybody
photo.
move!
Oh my god, why don't we take him anywhere?
Sorry, I'm just trying to get to the parking lot.
I believe he is taking us somewhere right now.
Yeah.
Squiggle, squiggle, squiggle.
Flip, flip.
So you get in your respective cars or pile into Irma's car and drive to a small little man. I want to crowdsource this because I don't have a restaurant idea. Anybody
have us name it?
Yes, please do.
No.
I want one more good name before the end of this,
So
please.
bad at naming things.
But you're bad in a good way. Somebody give me a type of food.
Taco burgers.
Okay. All right. Taco burgers. Are we talking? I was thinking something a little bit like kind of
Fancier.
a little fancier, but artisanal taco burgers.
Yeah, someone decided they needed to try American fast food and American fast food fusion, and thus taco burgers were born.
Taco burgers. Okay.
I hate this place.
Does somebody have any sort of idea for a name for
Chat says Taco Lord.
Taco Lord?
Which I love that name.
Sure.
Yes.
Sure. Taco Lord.
Which is the name of my next D&D character.
You brought this on yourself, Sean.
No, I love it. I love it. So you guys pull up to Taco Lord. There is a line heading out the, but it's not Lord Lord. It's Lorde. It's Lord's spin-off restaurant that she started after.
So kind of like light goth taco burgers.
Yes, yes. There's like some really like heavy kind of bass coming out from inside. This like low music that fills the air. It's got like an open concept, like those garage doors that come up in the front. So it's kind of open air. A lot of tables around a bar towards the back, and it's packed right now. But Irma walks up, and within a few moments, you have your seats. Seem to have planned ahead and having a reservation. So you all sit down and place your orders, and I don't know if somebody tries. I think Rose probably tries to order a beer or like alcohol, and then Irma just says she'll have a soda. So you sit there and get some food. I imagine there's a little bit of like jabbing and lighthearted conversation at first before the conversation shifts, and Irma says, so what's the plan for tomorrow?
What is something happening tomorrow?
I hope you're kidding. The convention, right?
Oh yes, that yes, that is the plan.
Okay.
I guess we somehow try to corral like 3,000 people.
Yeah. I mean, I assume there's some kind of keynote address planned or something. I was figuring just go up and say, hey, some evil dirtbag actually did this, but we're here to try and turn it into something good.
And Rose says, yeah, we've got a couple of events scheduled for it. A lot of it's kind of taking care of itself at this point. We have vendor booths and things like that going on. A couple of competitions. I think... no, do I want to do? No, I'm not going to do that. Yes, I am. I think Jeremy Wheaton is going to be there. I'm not sure. Going to be talking about something. I'm not sure. Anyway, so yeah, a lot of stuff going on, and I did leave some time for the Vigilantes to talk. So
No,
Better start
one of us
thinking
is
about
going to
that.
have to do it.
One of us or all of us?
I guess whoever wants to.
I mean, I'll do it. It's probably not the best idea, but
Then let's not do that.
are any of us speaking a good idea?
I don't think me being in front of a lot of people is ever a good idea.
I'll do it.
I just figured it'd be good. You know, I assume you guys are all going in costume and kind of keep things under control. Going to be a lot of people there, and I don't know. I assume you all saw that there's a lot of police nearby, and they're kind of keeping the protesters at bay, but also, you know, kind of there in case something goes wrong, which it probably will. But
Oh, totally.
Don't put that into the universe.
What
Don't
do
do
you
that.
What do you guys want me to say to all these people we don't know?
Something.
Hello.
Yeah, I was gonna say hi.
That's a good place to start, Lucas. Great, thank you.
Yeah, I mean,
And then you shoot the t-shirts at them.
Do we have a t-shirt cannon?
I will have a t-shirt cannon ready for you, of course.
Do we have t-shirts?
I can get some t-shirts.
Thank
Okay.
you.
Okay. A team effort. I like it.
All right. You do know, Lucas, t-shirt cannons aren't supposed to actually inflict any any harm on people.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Of course he does.
Just- All right. We should test it before. We'll work on that tonight.
He still doesn't answer my concern.
Yes. Hello. You showed me
I
those
think we've got hello.
Yes. You showed me those old comics where it's, with, you have lots of responsibility when you have power, something along those lines.
Okay.
That is the best way to start a party, I think. Most like when you go to a party, you're like, "Hello, be responsible." I guess. No, we got to jazz up and find the t-shirt, pow, and then get everyone excited, and then bring on the music, like start to play something that gets everybody so excited to be here, like drop the vegetables, or like the beat.
The beat.
Rock them all over, yes, of course. And then everybody gets all excited and starts to buy things. I think that's what the purpose of the convention is for, right? So they want to buy everything. We just get them amped up. And I've got a lot of ideas for this t-shirt cannon. And does it need to be handheld? Because if I want it to be, it can also be like some sort of mech walker. I think that would have a sort of level of what's his word? Just is there a word? I don't know. But that's sort of feeling is what I want. Just
You would have-
A giant t-shirt robot.
Thank you.
All right. I'm not really
Wait,
the one.
robot? Wait.
Okay, I have to say one thing, and I can't believe this is coming from me, but with as many robots that have tried to kill us and destroy the city in the last year, you really think having a robot with artillery capabilities is going to be the best plan here?
One.
Go for it. All right. That's
Just
fine.
one robot over the last. I guess it was one. That was more of automatons than a robot.
Maybe
Well-
just don't make it giant.
Like a little robot friend?
Yeah.
But want to show
You know what,
some-
Lucas? Make it whatever size you want, as long as it has an off switch.
Huh? Says that's a good idea.
But when it turns on us and tries to kill us, don't say I didn't tell you so.
At least it's only shooting t-shirts.
For now.
So,
I do want to clarify something. The whole point of this convention is because of other superpowered folks who don't know what to do with their superpowers, right? They're like, cool, superheroes in Beacon City. I'm gonna go say hi and maybe learn a thing or two. That's the whole point, right?
that and then also the whole, like, zeitgeist thing.
Well, right.
But yeah.
What about sets?
Irma clears her throat. She says, yes, about that part. I think that whatever you do here is your choice. I'm not going to tell you how to handle this because this is uncharted territory. I'm going to tell you something that I'm not sure if I should, and I haven't been told whether I should or not. But what happens tomorrow is going to be very important, and it's going to decide the future of everything.
Cool, no pressure.
I'm just imagining a big plate of taco burgers hitting the
Yeah.
table right there.
Order up, and it's like,
And then like a waiter that looks like they've been crying, but not necessarily they're crying, just like sets down the food and sulks off.
And as the conversation stops for a second, then Irma, seeing that you're alone, there's enough chatter going around, says, what Lucas brought up the other day about. I think you brought this up the other day about the time distortions, if I'm remembering correctly. If not, I'll change my conversation right now. Did you talk about that with the group?
Mm-hmm.
Did you? If you don't think you did, I'll move on.
Well, there's been days. I'm sure it may
There's
have
been weeks. Yeah.
there are weeks. Yeah, I'm still searching for it. There's lots of different ways that could have come out. So yes.
Okay. It's fine. I mean, it doesn't mean that they have to know everything. I couldn't remember. I thought you had said something, but if not, that's okay. Unless you want to talk about it now.
Well, according to my notes, I probably did. So,
Well, regardless, okay, I'll frame this a different way. She says,
like, hold on. Talk to done. Okay, we did it. That's what happened.
no, Steven has not been locked in a cell for weeks. He was released a couple days after with no memory of what happened. So he's still good. That was for the chat. He's doing his thing. But yeah, she says, with the disruption that Zeitgeist is causing, it all comes together tomorrow. It wasn't supposed to. This isn't what was supposed to happen, but tomorrow's going to be very important. And I think that the one thing you need to be on the lookout more than anything is Null Point. I haven't really said much to you about what they are, and I've been reluctant to because I was hoping they would just return to their isolation, but Null Point is an entity that you were all supposed to encounter and defeat much, much later. Probably about 15 years from now. But the thing about them, and they've shown up multiple times in history to encounter super entities, people with this mutation, with abilities, and every time it's like they're drawn to confluences of people with these abilities.
Oh, so you mean like a convention of 2,800 superpowered folks?
In 15 years.
When Rose graduates.
The gathering of super individuals to form the organization that protects us and that protects the world, that was supposed to be when they struck the first time. And you, as the competent adults that you become, we're going to stop them and start the golden age of heroics and peace. But I found out recently that this might be Zeitgeist's plan to start that sooner, to kill off most, if not all, of the people that would one day stand against him. I shouldn't be telling you this, and I've been told not to because of how it might affect things. And I've been wrestling with that because when you from the future tells you not to do something, you feel like you should listen, but I can't just stand back and watch.
So to be clear, you from the future wanted us to be unprepared for this and just think it was a social gathering?
No. The me from the future doesn't even know anything about this. They see a future as it existed. What we walk through now is a future unwritten. And that's the other part of this, is that as things get worse and there are more disruptions, you're going to start to see changes. There are going to be distortions. Things are going to manifest that won't make sense. And if what Zeitgeist is planning happens, and if you fall and the other heroes fall, then an entire timeline will be unwritten.
No pressure then.
And the only reason I wasn't telling you, and that I waited while we've been training you, and why I wanted to get you to that point in your abilities, is to hopefully stop it. But while I was told not to tell you anything in the future, I felt that I had to now. You're as prepared as you're going to be for this, and honestly, I don't know if it'll be enough. So I figured I need to tell you now, so you have the little bit of time you have to prepare something, anything that you can. And I'll help as much as I can too, but as this gets closer, my powers are going to weaken as time itself is erased.
This must be the calamity that my blob father told me about.
Yeah, probably.
Finally. I've been looking for whatever it is that I saw, but this could be it.
So we just fight and stop Null Point, and everything's hunky-dory, right?
So,
yeah, that's gone so well for us the other two times.
well, I'm very excited for us to talk about how we're going to deal with Null Point, but I am going to go to the restroom. I will be back.
Okay, bye.
Is this Lucas's first time having Taco Lord? I guess he's not. Doesn't have the constitution for
no,
it.
is it? Oh, we made a mistake.
Well, I think he's probably about to make a bigger one.
All right. Well,
That was
sounds
Rose,
like
by the way, if that wasn't clear.
so. It sounds like we should assume Null Point's going to show up at SuperCon. I mean, I don't know. Is there, Irma? Do you know of any way to track them down, or is it? Do they just show up and we deal with it when they get here?
From the limited amount of lore that I know, and the times that they've shown up throughout history, they find you. So they'll be there tomorrow. It's just a matter of how ready you are for it.
Guess I better give a really good speech.
Mm-hmm.
And the Golden Duke, who is unusually, or Hector, who's unusually quiet, says, "But we haven't been training you all this time for nothing. I'm positive that you're much stronger now than you would have been had we done nothing. I think you can do this, and I'll be there to help however I can."
Thanks, Uncle Hector.
It makes me sound so... I'm not that much older than you. You know that. It's kind of creepy.
Most of us are still in high school. I'm the only one who just graduated.
That's true. Yikes.
I'm not even really sure how old I am.
I don't know if that makes me feel any better. But I'll be in the training room tonight and probably not sleeping, so if you need any last minute sparring or just want to punch something, you can find me there. I don't know how much it'll help in this sort of 11th hour, but
Maybe we'll also finally fire up that power enhancement system we have at the base. It's it's like a mega elixir in a game. We keep holding on to it for when we think we'll really need it.
Yeah,
Well, I've used it,
me and Kiki worked really hard on that, you guys.
I've used it like 5 or 6 times just for training.
Is that how you
And
got
it was
so
fine?
tall?
It went fine?
Yeah, just kind of get a bit. It's like a really good protein shake in the morning.
Wait, what do you mean? And it went fine.
I don't mean anything by it. I was
Me
just
and
really
Kiki worked really hard on that.
I just don't want to get more tree-ish, I've been kind of avoiding it. I don't want to end up as like a sycamore, just sitting there.
I mean, if there was a good time to have like a giant fighting sycamore on our side, it's probably tomorrow.
It's too late. Too late.
I used
Big
it
ol'
one
womp
time to
womp.
play.
No. Go ahead.
I just used it one time to play Super Smash Brothers. It was not helpful, but it was fun.
Sounds like operator error.
I'm just imagining Lucas just sitting by the machine for a long time, just with the cartridge sitting on top of it, and just waiting for the game to turn on.
Come game.
Well, I guess we have all got stuff to work on then.
So no, I don't know if you remember, but I wasn't there for the little engagement with No Point. Is there anything that you remember that could be useful as far as the way they move, the way they act, what they are looking for, and how they feel, what they smell? I can smell, but maybe I can make a sort of rubber nose for that. Like different things that might be able to prepare us what we're about to experience.
I do have one thing I've been thinking about this whole conversation. The time that I was there, Null Point was like kind of chill-ish until I like lit up and like started growing some things. And then it was like, I don't know, like bloodhounding in on that. And he said something, I can't remember what he said. It was like power or consume or something kind of creepy like that. So as soon as I planted up, that's what really got their attention.
So maybe to face No Point, we need to not use our powers.
Or you could use your powers to get them where you want them to be.
And away from 2,800 people who haven't gone through Uncle Hector's training regimen.
So where do we want No Point to be? Should I construct a big old trap? Because I think that is where we're headed.
Do you have time to do that and the t-shirt cannon robot? Because I'm kind of attached to the t-shirt cannon robot.
Well, I'm going to have to roll back the scope of the t-shirt cannon robots a little bit if I'm going to do both. I can't do them both. Not at least to the vision that I had for it. It will be much less...
Do a trap in like a regular t-shirt cannon.
Irma says,
a t-shirt roller maybe, or a t-shirt hand off, or
she holds up a hand and interrupts in that moment. She says, I might be able to help with one thing.
Oh, the t-shirt cannon?
Maybe if that's how you want to spend your time. I can give you 2 chances at what you want to do to prepare for this. Like I said, my powers aren't going to work once we get closer to this time of confluence, but I can roll back things up until about midnight tonight. Give you enough extra time to do a little bit more. So if you want to spend half of it or one part of the evening making a t-shirt cannon and the next one setting up a trap, I'm not going to tell you not to do that because I don't know if that might be the t-shirt cannon that saves the world. So I don't want to tell you what you should or shouldn't do. But I can give you all enough time to do a little bit more.
Maybe we should skip the t-shirt cannon. Once we save the world and everything, we can build a really cool t-shirt cannon.
I mean, I guess Lambasket just serves them.
I mean, no offense, but I can probably chuck them farther than you can make a cannon that wouldn't hurt people.
I can also just throw them if we're being, like, totally clear.
Lucas, that was not a challenge on either account.
You guys know I have super strength, right?
Yeah.
Now at the end
we're
of this
all
episode,
we're all aware, right?
we're
I
going to need
also
our
have
Flash
super
versus Superman scene at the end of this where everybody just stands in a line and throws a t-shirt as far as they can, okay? Just that's how this is ending. If I forget to narrate it, assume that's what happened.
I just want everyone to be very clear that I am also very strong.
I knew that.
Thank you.
But your hands are going to be full.
Of?
You're going to be a microphone or something.
Of speech.
Of speech,
Right.
holding your notes
Of
is a
inspiration.
microphone. And you can't talk. You talk with your hands.
That's true.
It is a thing that we've all noticed.
Yeah.
You kind of do.
I mean, I'm not embarrassed by this. I'm memorable.
That is true.
Okay, we're making lots of jokes because I don't think any of us want to deal with this, but
Mm-hmm.
what are we going to do to plan for Null Point?
Lucas is going to build a trap out in the middle of hecking nowhere. Or as close to that as we can get. And once we have given our big speech and the con is in full swing, we'll slip away, let off a big blast, and summon Null Point to us.
Where's Samuel been? Do you know where Samuel's at?
Rose says, he's been helping me set up the convention.
Such a good boy.
He's been staying at the base. Have you not seen him?
I've been away.
We eat breakfast every morning. You need to be, more present. I'm
It
just
takes
kidding.
me
I
some
haven't
time after I photosynthesize.
I don't eat breakfast with him every morning, but he
Oh.
is staying at the base and has been helping with the convention.
So my point with this question, he might be able to help us out if we need to get the 2,800 folks out of harm's way.
Only if everyone is on the exact same page of what their most innermost desire is to get to the exit in a
Right. And
in a
I'm sure we
very
can fabricate.
gentle.
Or we have another ice cream truck drive by.
Yeah. Thank you, Rose.
Rose, your powers are still going, yes?
Yeah, they're definitely gone. Thanks for that. So I'm kind of useless with all of this.
Oh, you're not useless.
I mean,
You
everyone's
should- You found this place and it's very nice.
Rose, I'm sure between you and Samuel, you can think of a way to get a bunch of people out of a building very quickly.
Yeah.
Like you've
We'll
never
come up-
set off the fire alarm at school.
Okay. Yeah. No, well, I'm sure it'll be easy to get them out once things start attacking. I think the thing you need to think about the most is you're going to have a lot of people there that want to be heroes.
Which was why my initial suggestion was not to set the trap anywhere near the convention.
Yeah.
But I think the problem is that we are pretty big, strong people. We can make our flashy flash, but I don't know that we can match the potential power of 2,800 people. And that just introduces the variables that we don't have any control over.
That's a good point.
I think you should just tell them the truth.
That something's gonna attack and we need a plan.
Yep. Tell them to hang back. Damage control. Leave it to the Vigilantes -1.
They'll just think you're, teleporting around, helping out.
Yeah, I don't think I'm going to be in costume tomorrow. Anyway, so they can just assume whatever.
Wolves, what do you think that the police will do tomorrow? if something happens?
Probably crap their pants, but more likely they're gonna assume it has something to do with the people inside the building and may try to interfere. They might get in the way.
I think we should have a contingency to make sure that they don't.
That might be something that Stephen would be good for. Samuel would be good for. Why did I say Stephen?
I was
Might be something
confused.
that Samuel would be good for.
Yep.
Distract them enough not to do their jobs, at least.
I was gonna make a comment, but I won't.
Did did No Points ever? You said something about consume. Did they ever consume anything?
Didn't they make your ship not work? I remember you being very upset about that.
Was I?
I think so.
It's been a long time.
Was I?
The plot device, Irma, says,
Thank you.
you're welcome. They have the ability to absorb things into them and use them and use those things, those energies for themselves. There's not a lot of people, or no one that I know of knows exactly how their powers work, but they take things in and then they twist them and they make them something else. And that can be anything, like energy, matter, people.
Yeah, I mean, back at Halloween, they briefly started trying to, I guess, absorb me, but you guys helped me out of that. It was not a fun experience.
Yeah, I vaguely remember being carried out of a Halloween party.
Well, I think we need to get back to the base and start working on things. Even if we don't have a full plan, something will come together. We just need to start doing.
Yeah.
So let's.
And I think said that D'Artagnan wants to turn the table. So.
The host is just standing there, like staring over and just looking at their watch and staring over. There's just like a line of people outside coming from graduation. The Duke says, I've got this, don't worry. And he takes out his wallet and so he pays the bill, and then you all leave and head back to the base. And once you're inside, Irma gets you all together. She says, all right. So like I said, you're all going to have 2 shots to do something, whatever it might be. Sleep might also be a good thing. So, some of that too. But anyway, I'm going to be out of it probably immediately afterwards for a while. And then once I wake up, I'm probably going to be fairly useless. So I'm trusting all of you and you, Hector. And Hector smiles and says, don't worry, I've got this. She kind of sighs a bit, says, yeah, I'm sure. Okay. And as she takes a deep breath, she focuses and holds her hands out, and there's this like warbling sensation that emanates from her eyes, go blank again, kind of fill up with energy. And for a moment, as that warbling kind of sets in front of you, it only becomes like reflective. And you can see like from that warbling, it's like looking into the surface of a pond. And you see your reflection. And then as it stills and it stops, this perfectly smooth reflection of yourself is now standing in front of you, except it's not a reflection. You are standing in front of yourself now, as there are 2 versions of each of you separate in time to do whatever you want for the evening.
Oh my god, can I use some of the time travel to dye my hair back?
So I'm assuming. So if this is time on this timeline,
Mhm.
we're kind of like split. So we have like two things that they're going to come back
Yeah.
together at the end of the 12 hours or so.
Yes.
Okay. Cool. All right. Does everything double or just like us?
Just you.
Okay.
She has just copied you.
Okay. Cool.
I think there are also two Hectors. And Hector looks at himself and he says, hello. And the Hector says, hello. Should we go work out now? Yes, I think we should. And the two of them go walking into the...
Can I see my back? Oh. Yeah.
Oh my god, I'm
Very
in
good.
hell.
Very, very good.
Anyway, and Irma is standing in the same place she was before, just like perfectly frozen in time with that same energy coming off of her, and just like channeling this power in front of her. So she is out of commission until midnight.
Okay.
Which is essentially from right now. I'm assuming with graduation, everything else, it's probably like 3 o'clock in the afternoon.
Cool. All right. Does anyone want to start?
So, what do you guys all do for the evening? I can go one by one, unless anybody has something they really want to do. But you have 2 chances at everything. Olivia.
I wasn't kidding. She's gonna be in front of thousands of people tomorrow as Fantasia. Can Olivia use a little bit of the time to dye her hair back red?
You want to dye your hair back red? Yeah, sure.
That doesn't
Okay.
take all of that time.
No,
I just want to put that out there.
Maybe an hour.
Okay. It probably takes longer than that. She has a lot of hair.
I don't
Okay.
know. It's the future. They have better ways to dye hair now.
She said, having just dyed her hair.
Yeah, I mean, if it's just a box of hair dye and stuff, yeah, I mean, around it. But you have another you to help, so
Oh, yeah. Me dye my hair back red.
I'll keep it from being so patchy this time. So sorry, did No Point break the Kirby craft?
you were repairing it. I think at this point, I think you would know because in the last episode you got it working enough that the display came on and you were able to talk to your
Okay. Alright.
in-laws.
What I'm going to do is my plan is going to be to retrofit the Kirby craft and going to use that as the trap. One of its abilities is size shifting, so I can make it large and big enough to like hold, whatever in there. If I have to, I think I probably will need plutonium because I think we're out. So that might be what I do. I hunt down plutonium. And then, but I guess that's I need to fix that because my goal is to lure Null Point in there and then just send him to a different dimension. But I need it plutonium for that.
Sure. Roll for plutonium.
Okay.
So, yeah, I don't.
I was gonna say, was that the Ice Gators place that we went to? That's where we had to mine it from or something?
Yeah.
And by we, I mean y'all.
It could be, yeah.
Yeah, we have not forgotten
Um.
about the
Snow
snow
Gate.
gators.
Okay, I think instead of having you roll something totally abstract, I'm going to ask you or flip it on you. How does Lucas get plutonium?
Well, first I'm going to Google it.
I mean, because you have superpowers, you have a craft that might not have the capability to do what you want it to right now, but does have a lot of. You could get pretty much anywhere in the world in a very short amount of time.
What are Kiki's powers covered? She can transmute herself, but not like other things, right?
She can also transmute other things.
Yeah, I think.
Can she?
Yeah.
All right. Well, then I'm gonna
I'll
fly to
pull up
New
her
York
sheet.
or wherever she is.
Okay, you go to her and you have
Yeah, she had energy absorption and substance mimicry.
okay, yeah, because we have said before that she can make other substance mimic other things. So
Yeah.
yeah,
Lest
I
we
think-
forget, we had Bling Shot for a while. She turned
Okay. Yeah.
Ian into diamonds.
Yeah. So you fly to
It's gonna be
So-
hard to fly back on commercial with plutonium in my carry-on, but we'll cross that bridge when we get to it.
you could fly back in the Kirby craft.
Oh, that's true. Yeah, I could bring the Kirby craft in my pocket and just
Can't
I mean, you
just,
could fly
turn
there
into a
and back
plane.
well, like it doesn't fly. Like that's why I need the plutonium. Is so it
Oh,
can
okay.
fly.
I was assuming that we were going with the fiction of that it can do limited things, but like dimension travel and stuff is kind of out of the question right now.
Either way, I think it mainly flies via dimension travel. It's not like really like it's not aerodynamic at all. It's like
Okay.
actually like folding space to move.
Okay, so it flies through space time and not
Yeah.
through like okay.
It's not actually using propulsion in that sense.
And you don't have someone who can teleport anymore. Yeah. Okay. Well, that's probably going to take most of your one of yours next 9 hours. Get on a plane, last minute flight to Philly, fix
I thought
it,
was Pittsburgh.
I mean, she's East Coast, and that's 6 hour
Earlier you
flight.
said Pittsburgh.
Yeah, it is Pittsburgh, not Philly. I think you're right. Well, that's what we were saying in the chat. I
Or
honestly
New
have no
York.
idea. I think I
Or
said New York
Philadelphia?
last time. Time is weird. It's messed up right now. You don't
She's
know
in New
where
England
she
somewhere.
is.
So messed up right now, y'all. Yeah. So-
Anyway, yeah. That could, so what I'm gonna have you do? So you fly, you get on the flight, Lucas, for the 6 hour plane flight, getting to.
It's just like
It's just like looking through.
reading the Sky Mall magazine.
Yeah. Anyway, and you arrive and Kiki's there, and I'm not gonna try to do her character justice, but you could you have your reunion and kind of work on the plutonium. So what I'm gonna have you do, just so there's some sort of action here, I think is because you are modifying your ship to do something that it doesn't typically do. I think you said the growing part.
No, it has two powers. And one of them is dimension shifting, and the other is size shifting.
Oh, shit. Well, I want you to roll for something, but yeah. I want you to roll to
I mean, I can think of something else that will have more. Like maybe I tried to improve the Kiki bot while I'm there for her to
Well, I guess-
I could say like while I'm with Kiki, maybe like making some modifications. So I don't know. Maybe like in addition to Skyping through, she can use her powers through it. And that would be like maybe an alien tech role, like where I do something impossible or it doesn't work.
Yeah, I was really just trying to think if there was something that something to make you do so I could gauge how well this plan is going to work when it finally comes together.
Okay.
So no,
I mean-
I mean,
Should I roll like a social role? Because like
no.
surely I don't have a real passport.
No, I don't want to. That's not like I don't want to get hung up. Like I don't want you getting hung up in TSA, and that's the reason you can't. So-
I'm just like not here for the rest of the session, just because like I'm stuck in Chicago. Like,
Yeah.
my layover.
No. So I'm fine with that. Like it's within the scope of your abilities, and I'm not going to take that away. And it's within the scope of Kiki's abilities to assist in this matter. So, so she can help with that. Is there anything else that Lucas is going to do? So that's Lucas 1's like full
Mhm.
time.
All right. So, Lucas 2. Maybe I'll wait and see what shakes out with the rest of the
Okay.
group.
That's fair. We can do one at a time. So dyeing hair, doing the going on a flight. What about either Perennial or Ian?
You want to go first, Alex?
I mean, yeah, I can come up with something.
Because mine's just going to be social. That's all
Yeah.
I have right now.
Yeah.
Yeah, Gentry is known for their social powers.
Hmm.
And don't forget, any of you that have conditions, it's a great time to do something that might clear somebody's conditions or talk to people and doing that sort of stuff. Like that is a big mechanic of this
I need
game.
to read
But
about
I
that.
need some of mine.
Yeah. Comforter supporting, and
Is that
Need some of
peripheral or basic?
that's under basic moves. Yeah.
Basic moves.
Yeah.
Is it
I
under
mean,
clear?
how many of them do you need, Olivia?
Everyone I have makes me roll better on my Nova stuff, which means
Yeah.
that I
But-
get more burn.
Also, if you take, how many conditions do you have right now?
I have 3.
And if you get 5, you are out of commission.
I had 4, and that's why I nuked the football field last time.
Yeah.
Because I rolled bad.
Oh boy.
So that is a thing to think about.
I do have a couple of things that I'm planning to do if you guys need some time to think about it.
Yeah, I think that would be good.
Okay. You guys have this look on your face like, ugh.
Oh. I know what I'll do.
Yep.
With Lucas too, Electric Boogaloo.
Yeah. After our first session last time, I made an emotion management device that I was intending to give to Pyro, but then just never saw them ever again.
Yeah.
Maybe I'll try to track them down. Maybe we'll track down also what was I got? What's the kid's name? The one that was T-Rex.
Was it Trevor or something?
Oh, the little guy?
Yeah,
Trevor
so-
was the one that last time you saw him, he was
I'm looking at
He
the
wasn't involved in the
villains
prison
thing.
break.
I think I have his name. Jake.
Jake.
Wow.
Jake.
I don't think, yeah, he wasn't involved in the prison break. What did you guys do with him?
We just took him back to his house or his
That's right.
apartment.
Mhm.
What was it?
He was a little.
Maybe just try to track those. That's all I'll do with the other Lucas. Is just like track down those two and kind of invite them to the convention if they aren't already planning on coming.
Okay. That seems like, I mean, it seems like you are trying to comfort or support them if you want to go for a roll on that, if there's any
Okay.
benefit to you in rolling that.
Sure, we'll try that.
Okay. Because on a 10 plus, you can do some things for yourself.
It is a 9.
9. Well, you were giving them, you brought that device for them, correct?
For Pyro.
For Pyro. Okay. I don't think you find Pyro.
Oh.
Pyro is gone as far as you know. Last time you saw them was in a vision or a video, or maybe it was a cutscene that we did. I don't know. We know as the audience that their powers were taken from them by Pandemonium.
We do? Oh yeah, we
Yeah.
do.
You guys don't remember that?
I
No,
bet.
now I do. Now I do.
I don't
I
remember
have
what
a-
happened
I
like
have
20 minutes ago.
I have a slight memory of it now. but
Yeah.
No, I didn't at the
They were being experimented on.
I bet
by
the chat
Pandemonium.
remembers.
Yes.
They always remember.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
All
yeah.
right, well, like, oh man, that sucks.
But you
Well,
could give it if you wanted to give it to the
For your
little-
emotions.
little boy. Here you go. I'll give you a +1 on that then. So make it round it up to a 10 for making that device and giving it to
Okay.
you.
Enjoy
So
your
you-
life.
You can add a team to a pool or to the pool or clear a condition yourself.
I'm gonna add an entire team to a pool. Is what I want to do.
Which team?
Which team? I want to add the Lakers to a pool. That's what I want to do. Okay. Yeah. I'll just. I'm not going to do team pool. I'll clear a condition. I'm going to clear angry. I don't remember why I'm angry, but I'm going to clear it
Okay.
because I don't remember why I was angry. Now I'm just afraid.
Great.
Good. So That's Lucas 1 and Lucas 2 done. What about the rest of you?
My only idea right now is to talk to Rose. So if you guys want to do something more interesting, you can.
We can do that scene while they're thinking about anything else they want to do. And like I said, you don't have to do something. You can just assume you work out and sleep and eat snacks for the rest of the evening. Assuming the apocalypse is coming tomorrow.
Eat all the Cheetos I can.
Which I think is what Rose is essentially doing right now. After getting everything ready, Rose has been in planning mode, getting the event ready, and is now probably just like watching a movie in the base. So yeah, I guess as you come up, look over, kind of scoot over on the couch and say, "Want to watch?"
I kind of want to interrupt, if you don't mind.
Okay. Where's the remote?
I'll just grow like my arm really long and just like press the button to pause it.
You push the button and the TV pauses. Yeah, what's up?
Well, basically, I think I just kind of wanted to remind you that you're kind of really important to me. Like, the only reason I'm here doing any of this is because of you. And at that time, you weren't using any of your powers when you did that. You completely changed my life around by just being you. And I just wanted to say that, really. Yep.
I'm glad I helped. I'm glad you're on the team. I know we haven't really gotten to talk a lot since all this started happening.
Yeah, lots been going on.
But yeah, no, I know we've kind of butted heads on things, and things have happened that we haven't really agreed on, and then I sort of betrayed the team and almost got Lucas mind controlled more, and almost got Olivia killed, and almost got a lot of people killed and stole a lot of stuff, and yeah. Anyway,
I mean, I've also broken a lot of stuff and been really kind of garbage to y'all, kind of a lot. Been up in my own head instead of here with everybody else. And we all just kind of are figuring things out, you know? And I just kind of, I don't know. You've also helped a lot of people. You've saved a lot of lives. You've saved our lives. And anyway, I just wanted to remind you that that's just you. And I don't want you thinking that you're nothing now that you're something that you didn't expect yourself to be. Because I got a lot of experience with that.
If it helps at all, I'm fine. If anything, I think it's better that I don't have my powers anymore. A lot of bad things happened because I had them in the first place, so good riddance. But I really appreciate that, and I'm glad to know that I helped when I was probably just being an asshole.
You were not. So, I could not unmute. I could not. Everything was going wrong. So, yeah, good talk.
You want to watch the rest of the movie?
I do, yeah, actually.
Okay. And I'm really sorry that I can't do the that you can't come to school with us like you used to, and
No, it's fine. I mean, I've really got to come to terms with this one of these days.
I think you look cool no matter what. You're better at reaching stuff on the cabinets like this, so
That's true. I can sit here on the couch and just grab whatever snack I need, which is none. Because
yeah. Can you give me a soda from the fridge, by the way?
Yeah, hold on.
And Rose roots around for a little bit, and then finally reaches into the bucket of popcorn and pulls out the remote, and then hits play on the TV, and the movie starts playing again.
And that's one of my me's.
Yeah. Well, so did you? So was there something you wanted to roll there, or you just wanted to do?
I just wanted to reconnect with Rose
Okay.
and let her feel like a person and just feel valued. This friendship at the end of the world is important to me. That's all I wanted.
I still want you to roll to comfort or support someone. It's not going to affect the scene and how it played out, but I just want you to roll for something for me.
I think it's going to have to be mundane. Yep.
Yeah.
7. Barely made it.
Okay. So they mark potential clear condition or shift labels if they open up to you. Okay. All right. I'm not going to say what happened, but that's a success. Okay. So Gentry 1 does that. I don't know what the other Gentry does except like stand in the hallway and go, "Oh, that's nice," and then, like do something else.
Just like in the background, like, you got this.
Anything else anybody wants to do? Like I said, no pressure. We can move on.
Anything.
Okay.
Well, I want to. Me 1 and me 2 probably wants to spend as much time as possible without totally bogarting it and also without dying, because I don't really know how it works because we've never used it before, in the power enhancement system that we have. But before that, I need to talk to my friends really quick. Version 1 or version 2. I'm assuming that by the end of this, they'll all remember.
Yeah.
So whoever I can get.
Yes, you get one of each of them.
Great. So, quick team meeting?
Yeah, I'm down.
Yeah, sure. What do you need?
I need to tell you guys something. You have to promise you're not going to yell at me or cry.
I promise.
Thank you.
Yeah, no, I'm just not gonna yell and not gonna cry either.
Yeah, sure.
There are more of you.
Am I more of me here? Okay,
I
yes.
only need like 5 minutes of your time. So you guys know my dad's like big time science man, right?
Oh yeah, he's the best.
Yeah, he really is the best. I'm glad you think so. So he was a big part of I told you guys about like getting sick, experimental treatments, science, getting powers, burning me up from the inside, all of that stuff. By the way, I fixed my hair. I hope it
Looks
okay.
great. You did a good job. Yeah.
Thank you. Other me helped.
Oh wow, good job.
Very good. My hair has gotten very long. Okay. So my dad might have found a way to keep my wild powers from killing me before I turn 21.
Yeah, this is big news. I'm very for you not dying. Just gonna throw that out there.
Well, we're all gonna die eventually, Gendry.
I mean, I don't know. One of us is from another dimension, and the other one's a plant person. So
I'm a plant.
Yeah, I guess you guys might not.
No, plants die.
I don't know, but I can turn into other plants. And like I seed sometime. Anyway, go on.
Yes, human seed. We all seed. It's not very special.
T-shirt in the GGK store. We all see it. It's not very special.
I'm putting that in my Twitter bio.
I mean, yes, I'm very for my girlfriend not dying an early death.
I have to get rid of all my powers.
Huh.
And
Yep.
then live a super normal life and have a super normal lifespan, provided I don't, like, get hit by a bus or something. I wouldn't be sick anymore. And I wouldn't be Fantasia anymore.
So far, I'm not seeing any downsides.
No,
I
I
said we're all supposed to grow into competent adults.
Oh.
And that Fantasia does things, I guess. I don't even know if that timeline is a real thing anymore. I don't know. But I would just be Olivia. Normal.
Wrong. What's wrong with that?
It's a lot easier to help people when you can create things with your mind and lift cars off of them.
Yeah, but for how long? You could have a life. You could have your life back. A whole life.
You know how many whole lives I could save?
There are other ways to help people.
And you're not less important than they are.
What do you want, Olivia?
I don't know. I don't know.
Is there like a timeline to this? Like you have to make a decision soon, or?
Pretty soon. I have a third option. Well, I guess a supplemental option, because no guarantees how it's going to turn out. But we need a really, really big show of power tomorrow, right?
Yeah.
I did basically, like, nuke our high school a couple of weeks ago.
Uh-huh.
Accidentally.
Uh-huh.
But I could really prepare for this and use whatever time we have left in both of my selves to charge up as much as possible. We might be able to do it again.
Didn't that like really hurt you last time?
Yeah, I mean, how confident are you that's not going to make this decision a moot point?
50-50?
I'm just gonna throw it out there. I don't like those odds.
Never tell me the odds, Gentry.
Not having powers kind of sucks. Obviously, not having you around is gonna suck a lot more.
Someone on the pull-out couch. Like, what is that?
That's the that's the Golden Duke
Okay.
exercising. He's running wind sprints in the.
Your cat really wants to come in that one specific room right now.
But she says, "But Lucas is right. It's your choice, and we're all gonna do whatever we can so we don't lose you." I mean, there's like no real guarantee that your powers are gonna like, it's just kind of like, what's science, but like just guessing really good.
That's actually not wrong.
I really want to talk Yo-Yo off for a very long time about awards because maybe we wouldn't have to wait 15 years for you to graduate if you didn't ask that sort of question.
But I mean, they thought you were going to die and you didn't. You got powers and you lived. So apparently there's a future out there where you're a badass and you save the day and you're not dead.
Yeah.
It's a very different future that I don't even know if it exists anymore.
But there's also a potential future that we know you're okay in.
I mean, everything's different. We could all die tomorrow. This could be a really bad plan.
You can only ever be. I'm trying to think that my people have a saying, but it doesn't really translate into English. But it means there's a point when certainty runs out, and there's you can't be sure of how everything is going to go. You don't know what's going to happen tomorrow or even 1 minute from now. So instead of being stuck trying to make the best decisions that can possibly handle any possible contingency, you just need to follow what the jelly inside you is saying, If I look back at all the decisions that I made, like some of them were the wrong ones, but the only ones I regret was the ones that I made that I didn't actually want to do. You can only choose to do the only regrets you'll have is the choices that you make that don't follow your jelly.
Somehow that makes a lot of sense.
Well, you're not taking away your powers for tomorrow, right? And was that happening, or are you doing this tonight, or?
No. I think you guys are gonna need me. No offense.
None taken.
You don't have your team leader anymore, so you guys are gonna need all the help you can get.
We don't?
Somehow we will survive.
Yeah, I don't recall us having a designated team leader before.
And that's what it says on our Twitter bio.
That's what it says on the Twitter bio. What are you talking about?
And I mean, I thought
Lucas noticeably siding with Rose on this.
yeah. I feel like you're still right here, Rose. I don't get it.
Thank you. Well, team, then let's keep working away. And Olivia, if you want to use the power machine, I'm sure I could hit some buttons on it and pretend like I'm doing something.
I built a lot of redundant panels just everywhere in the facility.
That explains so much.
I like the sounds they make.
Sorry.
Yeah, I'm picturing Gentry spent so many days being like, button doesn't do anything.
Just trying to turn the lights on in their room, just like for
Days.
3 days.
What does this one do? Okay, so yesterday this one did this. Now it doesn't do anything.
Like changing out the light bulbs, like keep flipping, like, where's the breaker?
Exactly. Sorry.
Well, I'm not any clearer on the situation.
Well, you shouldn't be. Most jelly isn't really clear. It's kind of opaque. You gotta follow your jelly.
You know, I almost gave you all a compliment. So you have Ian to thank for ruining it.
Thanks,
Yeah,
Ian.
I mean, what do you guys keep me around for?
But I do feel a little better.
Gentry goes in for a hug.
There you go.
Okay, I will hug.
And break. So is there anything else? Because we're hitting the point where I want to go ahead and take our session break here.
Charging up
You want to charge up
as
using the
much as I
machine?
can.
Okay.
I also want to do that,
okay.
but I can wait my turn or for the morning.
We'll swap out.
Charging up in the morning.
Okay.
I'm also going to make sure that we have the right adapters in charge of everyone's cell phones before tomorrow, because that's going to be important. Especially Ian forgets to do that all the time.
Okay.
So I'm just gonna keep
are
up
you-
with that. Make sure
Are
everyone's
you
right.
all
That
going to
seems
charge
right.
up? Are you all going to charge your powers then? You turds.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. Cool. Everybody's going to get one reroll for the
Hey,
that they can use some point in the rest of the session. Then.
nice.
Okay. So as the evening wears on, you finish everything. Midnight is approaching, and I don't even think you really instinctually think about it, but you all find yourselves wandering in whatever you're doing after you finish, either laying in the power charging station, which you're not told, you're like incapacitated. So I think it's like an hour or two for each of you to just kind of sit in there and charge up for a bit. And so there's probably a moment where you guys, some of you are like sitting there just like waiting, like talking and getting to kind of like goof around and stuff, while one person is just like in this cylinder and can like talk but just like can't move. And so you probably end up with like a lot of mustaches drawn on like the thing on the glass casing of it, and like little things written on it, so the whole thing is just graffitied by the time you finish. But as the evening ends, you all kind of find yourself reconvening in the middle room where Irma has been standing the whole time, and all of the other yous come in too, and you don't even know at this point which one was like the original and what was like the duplicate, because you've just been spending time with whoever showed up. And as you all are standing there, there's that sort of rippling effect that begins to come through the air again, and you see the people around you sort of kind of like when you squint your eyes, and like two very blurry versions of yourself that just kind of slowly come together, twitching, and then until they overlap, and then the warbling stops, and then you are all standing there alone. or just the originals.
Oh, I liked having a second me.
And as that happens too,
Plutonium!
Irma's eyes fade, and she very quickly collapses onto one knee, breathing very heavily, and shakes her head.
I get her a Capri Sun.
I grow a hammock that she can lay on. You probably have a very good bed. I don't grow a hammock.
Oh, wow. I guess we're all just Irma's best friends then.
I also get Olivia a Capri Sun.
It's in canon that
Thank you.
Gentry has done this before.
You grow like the hair, and she sits down in it, and she takes the Capri Sun and punches the straw through the top, and kind of sips on it, or just drains the whole thing
Through
at
the
one
top? Ooh,
Yeah.
classy.
Yeah, like an adult.
All right, continue. Sorry.
She's not some sort of animal, just stabs the straw through the side. Anyway, she just like drains the whole thing. She's just panicking. She goes, "All right, I'm gonna sleep for the next 24 hours. Just let me know how this all turns out, okay?" And she leans back and goes to sleep, and the Golden Duke comes out too, and he's I think he's wearing like a gym, like probably a shirt that just has like gym life on it, and just like drenched with sweat. He says, "Oh man, hadn't even gotten through all my crunches yet," and he makes his way to the canteen. And that's where we're going to go ahead and have our break here, and we'll be back in a few minutes to conclude the adventure. And welcome back, internet. Thank you for bearing with us on our break and in heading into our conclusion to this adventure. There was a question in the chat as to what Hector's job is. Hector is a student. He is a college student. I think he's a senior in college, but he is he doesn't work. His family is very rich, so he has a lot of money to live as part of the legacy thing. It's kind of legacy in real life and in game. Anyway, so yeah, that's it.
So
no,
that's his playbook.
Yeah, he and Irma are only a few years younger than the rest of you, or years older than the rest of you. Anyway, so getting back into the game. So you after this, I keep wanting to say spell it. After the Irma's time warp ends, you sleep the rest of the night, or until the next morning, and prepare yourselves for the con. So I kind of want to just skip to the convention. I'd probably need better music for this. Let's do I've got the school music that I could use. That kind of feels appropriate. Let's listen to it a bit. Yeah, that feels right. So you get to the convention center, and the hordes of people have grown even more outside. There's hundreds and hundreds of people lined up to enter the civic center, which the doors are open, and now there are people taking the passes and ushering people inside. I guess, how are you guys arriving? Are you going to be there as the Vigilantes from the beginning? Do you want to scope it out as normies and then suit up later on?
Gentry's going to be there as perennial the whole time,
Yeah, I think
because they have really no other option.
Yeah, I'm arriving as Fantasia.
Yep.
Do you guys want to be there from the beginning, or show up like an hour in?
Gentry's there from the beginning, no matter what everyone else does.
Yeah, gonna be there from the start.
Yeah.
Okay. And then Rose is there kind of coordinating the events, so she's just there as Rose instead of Recall. So you're all at the center as people are crowding inside, and there are again like hundreds of people coming in every couple of minutes. There are lots of booths set up, vendors selling all sorts of things that you'd expect in something like this. I mean, literal like superhero like comic books probably being very popular right now, and other merchandise for the latest Marvel movie, but also merchandise and paraphernalia of the Vigilantes, which is probably being sold without your trademark, but is I don't know if you guys have trademarked the Vigilantes yet. So
I'm sure Rose would
the
have.
detective did.
Oh yeah, he did.
That's right.
Yeah, we're gonna get sued real bad at some point.
No, I think he owns it now, and he's just like rolling in it. His
Yeah.
business is now making bank off of your brand.
Yeah.
How much like fan fiction is there, though?
Probably a lot. There's probably some Vigilante comics that are being made about like your origins and like what they would expect of your real lives, kind of like what we are doing, except the comic book version of it. So even more like dramatized and
But how much slash fiction is there?
Man, I don't know. Yeah, probably just in the cosplay and stuff. You're probably getting a lot. Just all sorts of. I mean, every combination, really.
Any fan fiction that is like easily available online, Olivia has definitely read it.
Okay.
She has not.
There's probably a lot. Just knowing the age of fandoms that we live in now, and then letting that sort of. I'm trying to think of a nice word for it. Grow is what I'm just going to go with over the next 50 or so years. What?
You mean a nice word? Fan fiction's great.
Yeah, no, it just gets, it's out of hand how much there is right now. And like I said, there's a lot of people dressed up like superheroes that you know see in like classic comic books and stuff that like we would see in Batman, Superman, all that sort of stuff. But there is also a lot of people dressed up like you guys, which is probably a little confusing. And I'm trying to decide whether anyone even sees you and know. I think there's probably a few people at first that run into you and be like, that's a really good Fantasia costume. And like, it's like, oh my God, how did you?
But your hair is not right.
Yeah, that her hair's a little.
It's got a streak in it. It's like Rogue.
But
Because the hair is new. Why are you looking all? Sometimes I can't tell if you're making faces at the character or me.
I'll never tell.
A lot of people interested in Gentry and like the realism of your cosplay too. So
Uncomfortable about just. Oh yeah, okay.
yeah, and yeah, the cosplayers out there. I mean, there's probably some very like legit costumes, and it's easy to see why you might not be like standing out right away as
Kiki's actually been making some money on the side, making cosplays.
Oh my gosh.
Dressed up.
She's paying
I was
for
actually,
school.
yeah, for cosplay, and also like, when everyone decides to become a superhero, she gonna make bank. Everyone's gonna want to keep you.
Yeah. Well, everyone's gonna want her. She's gonna be like the what's her name from The Incredibles?
Edna Mode.
Edna.
Yeah,
I always just call her haircut.
Yeah.
Haircut in The Incredibles.
I mean, fair.
Yeah.
No capes.
So I think you do get a little bit to like walk around the floor, kind of like as everybody else. And there are, I mean, like I said, there's a lot of people there. It's very crowded, very quickly. Every so often, there will be like a little bit like of applause and laughter somewhere in the convention center, and you'll see like a flash of light, or somebody will just kind of like hover above the crowd and like flying through the air and then land in the crowd somewhere else. And not everybody, you're not sure if everyone here has powers, because it's not like a requirement to come here, and some people might just be celebrating it, and everyone seems to be very supportive of the atmosphere and the environment. But there are people here using and kind of showing off their superpowers. And then I think there's one point, and Rose kind of runs off to organize this event. There's like a power competition where everyone like doing their probably showing off their cosplay, but also showing off the powers that like complement it, and they're being like judged on those, and like little prizes being given away, showing like best costume, best like power in like different categories, and then like best combination power or like cosplay and stuff going on. So it's a lot of stuff going on there.
Gentry, you definitely should have entered that.
I don't know. I'm kind of liking being under the radar right now.
Fair. No one can beat the real thing.
Oh, thanks, Olivia.
And then there are definitely some people playing like RPGs and stuff in the corner, and too on like in tables and things like that. And
we over here roll to unleash your powers.
yeah. Definitely the new masks system, which has come, and everybody, it's all the rage, and people are trying to like, let's role play being teenage superheroes. We just dive deeper into the meta as you guys all sit down to play. No, so probably an hour or two, and then I think you get to the food too, and there's all this pizza around, and then just like a little side table with the fresh
salads,
salads,
some pure fruit dips, vegetable dips,
yeah,
some like homemade corn chips.
Yeah, and
I
it's
am
just
definitely sampling like everything Gentry made.
Yeah,
Olivia loves healthy food.
It's very good, but there's a shit ton of pizza from Papa Tony.
Good choice of words too.
Shut up.
Anyway, so the afternoon wears on, and eventually Rose comes up, and she's all official and has like a clipboard and like a mic set or a headset, and is like kind of pulls your group off to the side if you guys kind of wandered off places, which if there's anything you guys wanted to do kind of as the convention is happening, you guys can interrupt me.
The only thing that I've been doing is I've been cosplaying this whole time as Sexy Lambast. Basically, just like a version of his costume, but it's like a crop top and hot pants. Anyway, that's basically.
Okay. Do you enter in any of the costume competition?
No, that wouldn't be fair. No, but I get lots of pictures taken, I think.
I like that a lot. What does Lambast do about that?
I think just kind of, at some point sees Lucas walking by while he's with Olivia, and is just like, I guess I shouldn't be surprised.
Maybe you should try a crop top sometime.
Maybe not out in public. Get back to me on that later.
You're too easily embarrassed.
One of us has to be.
Whoa!
Okay. So yeah, Rose pulls you all aside.
Wait, I'm doing something too.
Okay, what are you doing?
I'm just going around to. There's lots of vendor booths. Are there like artists and stuff that are
Sure.
like peddling there? I just want to go around to a lot of the artist booths and buy their stuff
Okay.
because my dad's rich and support local artists.
Okay. We need a little like The more you know symbol to come across the screen when we do that. Yeah.
Support your
yeah.
artists. They're very talented. They work very hard, and they usually undercharge for their work.
Yeah.
Tip them
Okay.
well.
Cool.
I buy just a ton of stuff. Art and buttons and t-shirts and just everything.
Yeah, you get a Vigilantes poster, you get a Save the Fireworks Industry button, you get a T-Rex like miniature figurine, you get some
Wait,
dice. Huh?
the villains have merchandise too?
Yes.
That's
Yes.
great.
Did you say some dice?
It's like the idea of like, it's like, hey, you checked out my Putin action figure? It's pretty awesome.
Well, the T-Rex was just a little kid.
It's like, look at this fool. He's got this. Pull the switch. He's got poisoning action on his arm.
Oh, you
Anyway.
know what I do buy?
What?
Definitely a bandana that looks like roses that she swear over her face.
Okay. Yeah, I think there's probably a lot
And
of those.
lambast goggles. Anything that I can buy. I want to
In a jar of petroleum jelly.
Yes, I want to buy as many things as I can from as many different people.
You get your face
Because I
painted
think
like
they're doing
Lucas.
great. I want to support them.
Yeah. Okay, perfect. Then Rose pulls you aside. And she says, all right, I think things are kind of getting to the point. I blocked out a little bit of time kind of at a few points where you might want to get up there and say something. So I think this is probably a good point.
Great. Anybody coming with me?
I'll go with just kind of stand in the back.
And look awesome.
Yep.
Yeah.
I suggest that KikiBot with her the hands switched out with just conventional t-shirt launchers, ready to come on stage.
Rose, you got t-shirts, right?
Yeah, got lots of t-shirts. They're all loaded up. I'm gonna stand in the other corner for when KikiBot malfunctions and starts shooting them point blank at people. But good luck.
Have a little faith in the team you lead.
Yeah. I'll believe it when I see it. She holds the mic. She says, cue walk on music. And the lights kind of dim a bit and a few spotlights come on and they begin to like circle around the interior. And this like intense fanfare music begins to play. And Rose just goes, go.
Oh, I go.
Should we determine team points before the speech
Um,
or after?
I guess if you wanted to, it seems like this is probably a good time to do it. You guys have done all your setup. Yeah, this is probably a good time to do it. So yeah, let's do that. So team mechanics. When you enter in a battle against a dangerous foe as a team, add 2 T in the pool. You're at 1 right now, so that'll put you up to 3.
And I forget, because at some point during Lucas's thing, he said...
I did not take that deal.
Okay.
Yeah, he cleared a condition instead. So yeah, you're at 3 now. So and then if the leader has influence over every, oh well, I guess who's the leader? We need to decide who's that.
I think we decided Olivia is.
Mhm.
Okay, Olivia, do you have influence over
Even though
every?
it says something different on Twitter. She does not have influence on me.
I do not.
Okay.
Or
No, wait, that doesn't influence over. Sorry, never mind.
I do not. You're right. I thought you just knew.
No, that would be incredible.
Don't show your hand so easily. The only person that's here that I have influence over is Ian.
Oh, okay. Everyone has the same purpose in the fight, correct?
Correct.
Okay, so you're
Or
gonna add
do
another.
I? I'm just kidding. Yes.
You're gonna add another team. So I'll put you to 4. If anyone mistrusts the leader or the team, I think everybody's on the same page now.
Wait, Ryan's making a face.
Well, it's not on Twitter. But I think I trust you.
And if your team is ill prepared or off balance, I think you're about as prepared and on balance as
As
you,
we've ever
We-
been.
as you ever.
More than we've ever been. 100% more than we've ever been.
We did a plan, everyone. Kind of.
So yeah, 4 team then.
I do still have influence over Kiki.
Dude, same.
Oh, but
I
you
miss
can
Kiki.
you can use that for her to fire the t-shirts.
Yes.
You spend your influence to have her fire t-shirts at people.
On my mark.
Okay. So the fanfare music begins. I don't really have a lot that's going to work for that, but let's just go with this. And you come running up onto the stage, and the crowd begins.
No,
to-
I don't run.
You fly up onto the stage. Does anyone want to describe their intro to me, or can I just assume you? Okay. Yes. How does everyone get up on the stage? Avengers assemble.
I'm gonna let everyone else go out before me.
Okay.
I walk.
Okay.
Yeah, walking sounds good.
But
Yeah.
they look like they do, so it's incredible.
I feel
Okay.
like Gentry like just looks super awkward, especially if they end up going first. They're just like, just kind of walk, and they're just like, hey.
Own it.
Like, tries to look really small.
Gentry. Smize.
I'm gonna stay.
I don't know what that means.
Smile
Big
with
wave.
your eyes.
I think like 2 lambasts walk out.
You're going up there as Lambast.
I think for a little bit, yeah.
Okay. So, Lambast, do you have some entrance routine you want to do, or are you just going to walk?
I'm backstage going, oh my god, Ian, please do something cool.
I don't know exactly what the setup is. I'm imagining it's one of those things where like they've got a curtain set up across the top and like just a bar, and I think Ian's just gonna, roll his eyes and then just do a standing vertical leap over. So rather than coming through the curtains, comes from up above.
Above. Okay. You just like leap over, then superhero landing in the center, and then slowly stand up.
Yeah.
And then, Lucas, how do you enter?
I'm going to skip.
And then another Lucas comes skipping up onto the stage,
Perfect.
and the crowd is confused.
Gentry
Uh,
awkward walks. Lucas as Ian just skips. Is that what I just heard?
Yes.
Perfect.
And then Olivia,
While
you.
everyone else is doing that, I have obviously psychic constructed a very sparkly platform to take myself up and over, and then very slowly and dramatically lower myself down
Okay.
behind whatever podium and or microphone there might be for me to talk
Okay.
to.
Yeah, there's a microphone there, and the crowd begins to like cheer and applause, and everyone is gathering and running towards the stage and like in a frenzy. As you are all there. And so you have the mic in front of you and everything sort of calms down. There's a lot of pictures being taken, but everyone is sort of waiting with bated breath to see what you say.
Hello. And welcome.
One, you're doing great.
Hello.
Oh, you guys are already so great, and I love it. Hello, everyone, and welcome to, I guess, the first ever WonderCon.
I thought it was SuperCon.
I changed it.
Like right now, there's just a bunch of interns like.
Rebranding.
I don't know, I didn't name it.
Oh my gosh.
We are so glad to have you all with us here today in Beacon City, our home, and maybe a home for a lot of you moving forward. This is a very special event for all of us because for a lot of us, for the first time, we are meeting people like us. That is incredible, and it is as incredible for us as it is for you. And we are so pleased that we could put all this together. And that's all of the important flattery stuff. But I have to say, today, we need your help. There is something happening in Beacon City that will affect the rest of the world. And we need every single one of you to help it turn out okay. Do you think you can all do that?
Yes.
Just imagine cheering.
Woo! I don't know, maybe.
Believe in yourself, whoever said that.
Okay. Thanks.
We wouldn't all be here today if we didn't believe in ourselves a little bit. Or believe in each other. And I believe in all of you, so I'll be super frank.
And then some Frank in the audience, like, hey.
Yeah, I was gonna do that.
One day, one of you will take me
I
seriously,
was
and it'll be the
laughing at
best
that
day of my
beforehand.
life.
Look, I'm super Frank.
Hey,
You are super.
I thought.
I copyrighted it.
Sorry.
It is
I
hard
told you,
enough to
Maud.
spin like a dramatic, inspiring speech off the dome without you shit doing this.
I believe in you, Savvy.
Thank you. There is some
I
really,
can't-
really.
I can't stop thinking about Frank. I'm sorry. I will stop.
Leave Frank alone.
I'll stop right now.
You're putting Frank under a lot of pressure. There is some bad stuff about to come to Beacon City. And if we let it go, if we do nothing, everything that we know will be torn apart. It'll be gone. It'll be destroyed. But if everyone here is with us and will stand with the Vigilantes, we can make a difference. What do you guys say?
I think there's a lot of like nervous like side glances in this, and a lot of people kind of like not really sure what's going to happen. And then kind of throughout the crowd, you hear a few people like saying like, yeah, what can we do? And like say, yeah, I want to help. And people just like slowly coming together, a lot of people yelling until it's just like everyone is like getting into it and yelling and
Listen,
trying
y'all,
to-
we're going to need you all to buy so much merch. That's what we need you to do. Everyone, just really.
So we're launching this Kickstarter.
You guys are the actual worst. I'm just kidding. You're the best.
Save our city. Go to our Kickstarter / Save Beacon City.
Oh
Hello.
no. Something has happened.
Uh-oh.
Everyone's in different spaces.
Not everybody.
You guys know us by now. I'll fix it when I'm done with my speech.
I'm sorry.
Interesting.
Go on.
You're fine. You're just lambast now.
Okay.
Who needs to leave in what order? Do
I don't.
you
I'll
know?
fix it in a minute.
Yeah, we'll fix
Okay.
this.
I'm not worried about it.
Okay.
All right. What I need everyone to do is pay very close attention to what is about to happen. Something big and bad is coming for us, and we're going to set a trap for it. We're going to handle that. Those of you with powers, what we need is damage control. We need you to take care of the people who can't take care of themselves. We need everything to stay under control. We need this to not leave the convention center. Those of you without powers, I need you to take care of yourselves.
Oh.
We need you to please not put yourselves in dangerous positions, but we need you to stay calm. Help each other and help us. get through this. We're all important and we can all do this together. And we're gonna change everything. Are you with me?
And I think there's just like a thunderous applause from everyone in there, and everyone starts like getting themselves psyched up, and you see some people like powers kind of flaring up, and some people like erupting into flames, and other people like kind of beginning to fly up and like preparing, and like people breaking off into small groups, and like what can we do, and kind of like talking to each other. And then you see people without powers kind of going up and being like, what do you need from me, and kind of going to some of the other event organizers and like helping them get their booths together, and like anyone who's like younger children, and kind of like there's this big like, without much word needing to be said, just this understanding of what needs to be done, and people just kind of following your instructions. But as that happens, I think the four of you feel a sort of familiar sensation, a sort of chill run up your spine, like just in pure instinct, as the hairs on the back of your neck kind of stand on end, and you begin to see from the corners of the room with the lights out currently, some areas look darker than they should be, and you're watching as these shadows are now like creeping into the room and around the floor.
Olivia, can you light me up? We can start moving.
Yeah, I can do my best.
Okay. Savannah, do we need to do our reorganizing?
I
Fix it? Okay.
Just want everyone to know this is my fault.
It's fine.
I tried to click mute, and I was 1 inch off.
It happens.
It happens.
Geez, we're a mess tonight.
Speak for yourself.
Yeah, that's true.
I gave a great speech and fixed the whole internet.
You did.
Action music.
So for what it's worth, Gentry's understanding of the plan is get Null Point away from the con goers.
Okay.
Is that correct?
Sure.
It's part of it.
Great.
You want to take a team point away? We can do that.
Well, I mean, I know that's part of it, but like
No,
Gentry seems like
I'm messing with it. Yeah,
we want to get Null Point focused on us.
yeah, exactly. So Gentry's idea is to start growing all big and tall, and hopefully get Olivia to cast something on them, so that they can like become a literal beacon for Null Point to target instead of the mass of people setting powers off.
This rave music is literally perfect for what Olivia's about to do.
Okay. What's he do?
I'm gonna team up with Gentry. So if Gentry starts growing and becoming very scary, I'm gonna try to focus my psychic powers towards her, and I'm gonna try to make lights everywhere on Gentry, and there are just spotlights coming out of their plant fingers and sparkles happening, and just like as much energy as I can channel through Gentry, making them like the center of a rave without hurting anyone.
Perfect. That's exactly what I was hoping you would do.
Okay, here's what I'm gonna do for that.
If you just lifted out a piece of paper that just said like "be center of a rave" without hurting anybody, it's like that's 100% what I would do.
We would win the newlywed game.
Go ahead and roll.
I make Gentry a literal disco ball.
Olivia,
made of wood.
I'm gonna have you roll to unleash your powers, and then Gentry, depending on her roll, I'm gonna give you a modifier to a provoke roll. Is I think what you're kind of going for? You can tell me what you.
Yeah, that is what I'm going for, which sucks because I have a -2 superior.
Okay, well, Olivia might be able to help out with that. Then you guys have some team points that you.
This
can
is
use.
a thing. My conditions are not hurting. So.
And don't forget, you guys all have one reroll.
Yeah. Because I'm
Rolled
just
a 10.
Woo! Good. I'm just hoping
Nice.
Gentry's concept was Null Point wanted to eat them before. So that's the goal.
Yeah. So with Unleash Your Powers, on a hit, you do it. So nothing else
Do
needed. You do it.
You do it.
So I'm going to give
There's like
Gentry
a hair
a.
going, Gentry, you look incredible.
Just keeps growing like this super glowy disco ball redwood tree, basically.
Since it's a full success, I'm going to give you a +2 on the roll.
Sick. Okay, here we go, guys.
The Whoville tree, just like.
Here we go. Oh, I'm gonna re-roll that double 2. I'm gonna use it
Okay.
right now. Here we
So
go.
with the +2?
Yep, it was a 4.
Because she's at a 0 modifier. So
Yeah. Here we go.
be a good
Once
time.
more with feeling. I missed still,
Nope.
but
that's
it's a
the
+6
+2.
now.
Yeah.
If anyone wanted to give some team,
You guys could spend some team points to get it up to a 7 if you wanted.
What?
I mean, I'm
You're
right
just-
there if no one else has it.
Yeah, I'm trying to think what Lambast could do.
You just growing big? Is that what you're doing? Or-
yeah, basically Gentry's just trying to get become a big glowy spotlight and then just start running somewhere else so that Null Point follows this glowing beacon of magicalness.
Okay. I guess. Sean, how do you see this failing? Because maybe I can think of something to help, depending
Sure.
on the nature of the failure.
Yeah, let me describe it then. So Gentry, I think the power, like the actual manifestation of it thing works. And I think there's this glow coming off of her from what Olivia is doing, because you're kind of putting this like spotlight effect or this like strobe effect on her. Is that what I'm getting from it? Or
Yeah, I'm imagining it's almost one of those twisty trees that is made of twisted trunks all around, and then lights are coming out of every single crevice between those branches.
okay.
Yeah, I'm lighting it up.
Yeah. So I think what is happening right now is there's still a lot of people in the room, and that the darkness is still kind of spreading across the floor towards other people. It is coming towards you can see those like figures coming out of the ground that you've seen before, that Null Point kind of forms, that are sort of scattered around the room. They don't seem focused yet on Gentry.
This isn't gonna help, but just for, I feel like I need to do this. I'll be like, Kiki butt, and then she just shoots 2 t-shirts out into the shadows. It
Okay.
just kinda, tumbles on the.
Pull!
No, okay, so here's what I think. So you're spending a team to do this, which is gonna make it up to a 7. We'll talk about how that's
Oh, you're gonna let that happen? Okay.
I'm gonna let it happen.
Alright.
Let it happen.
I didn't
But
think it would work, but all right.
here's what I'm thinking.
That'd be
I
bad.
think this is more of something you set up. But here's what happens. So Kikibot lowers her arm cannons, and she begins to fire. And you calibrated this thing way too hard. The rest of the room is realizing, because as they fire, these t-shirts are like missiles. They almost have fire coming off the back of them. They are being fired so hard, and they just pelt one of the smoke monsters to the side, and then another one. And Kiki is just Gatling gunning, like just mowing down with these t-shirts, like dozens of these.
Rose
smoke
knew.
creatures.
Rose called it.
And Rose on the other side of the room and said,
I knew it. I
But-
knew
I think Luke is like, ooh. as Hot Lambast, just ooh.
so I think what happens then is Gentry picks up
Sexy
Kikibot.
Lambast is already hot, so it's just
Uh,
sexy. Continue.
You pick up Kikibot and sort of holding her in your massive tree hands now. She's firing out, and now you see all these shadows turning. They're focusing on you, kind of growing, coalescing in the middle into these larger, like 2 larger shadow forms that are now like more focused on you. So on a 7 to 9 with a provoke someone, they can instead choose one from the list below. So here's what I'm going to say.
Okay, so what I'm trying to get them to do, because I have to say what I'm trying to get them to do.
Yes.
First of all, focus on me and follow my movements. Ignore the rest of the crowd.
Okay. So They can instead choose one. I think for the sake of the narrative and moving things along, I'll say that they're going to rise to your bait, even on the 7, with everything you guys have set up for this.
Sweet.
But I'm going to sort of keep in my back pocket that that there may be some consequences, them not fully having their attention on you from that failure there.
Yeah.
So. And I think maybe one of those consequences is that because you weren't able to act as fast about getting this thing's attention, the attacks against some of the other like people in the room kind of scare them off, and people are beginning to panic a bit more than maybe they would have before. Not everyone. Some people are beginning to help, and some people are still kind of holding fast. But a pretty good chunk of people have just kind of begun to bolt out of here and just trying like fight or flight kicking in. So. You are leaving the auditory, the civic center.
Yeah.
I imagine there's like a long tunnel that leads out back to like a loading area where they bring some like the heavier and the bigger prop pieces that come in, and you just sort of like crawl your way out and being like running out into the parking lot behind, as the shadows are stretching through behind you. So the rest of you in there, are you just falling behind Gentry right now? Okay.
Yep.
Where are you leading them? Where'd you guys set this trap?
I have the trap in my pocket. I can put it anywhere.
Okay. Just trying to get to a less. So as you I'll describe the scene as when you.
I was going to put it on the main stage, but we're moving, so it's going to be wherever Gentry goes.
Yeah. Well, it probably, and I'll say for the sake of things with this much going on, you probably get the idea that as crowded as it was, doing it in the center might have been a bad idea. So you lead outside, and you see a couple things as you leave the Civic Center. There are all the police cars around that are still trying to kind of keeping up security, and the mobs of people out there, the protesters that were outside the event. They are all panicking, not because of the shadows though that are behind you, and not because of the massive tree monster that is now running through the parking lot carrying a robot shooting weaponized t-shirts. Instead, they are panicking about the rifts that are opening up in the air around them. As you can see these distortions and these holes sort of forming in the sky and everywhere else. And you see just like this void kind of forming as space-time is beginning to fray all around you. That's all you have for right now. So what do you do?
Time to go. I'm gonna charge up my powers.
Okay. Do it.
Roll plus conditions. I had a +3. That's a 7.
Well, it's a hit.
So I get some stuff.
Okay. So you flame
I
up.
hold 2 burn, but I mark a condition.
Okay. So you flame up and are now that kind of purplish, sparkling razzle energy that you have is kind of forming around you as you're all running out to the parking lot. These dark holes opening up in the sky, and now these masses of shadow energy that are pouring out from the Civic Center behind you. Change the music quickly.
I'm already afraid. If anyone wanted to know.
Okay.
I'm also angry, guilty, and insecure, but...
So you're at 4 now.
Please don't die.
Good to know. Okay.
I never made that promise.
So here's what happens. The shadow stretching out, and instead of seeing the multiple forms, instead forming and walking out, you see the one sort of humanoid shadow form of Null Point walking across the this trail and this bridge of shadow that is forming in front of them, and he or they sort of let out this growl that emanates from like all of the shadows, forming the sound coming from all of it, and just growling one word, feast. as the tendrils now forming into almost like spikes and then shooting out at Gentry's massive tree form. What do you do?
I think what Lambast is going to do is trying to figure out if there's a way to do this while minimizing collateral damage, because that's been a major issue. But I think is going to stomp down on the ground really hard and like kick up a piece of pavement and then kind of earth bend punch it at Null Point.
Okay, perfect. I like that as a directly engage.
Which I'm very good at.
So roll plus danger.
That's a 13.
Yikes. Okay, 13, you get to pick 2 from the list.
Yep, so I think I'm going to take something from them in the forms of I stop the spikes from getting to my friends.
Okay. So you sort of take an opportunity from them. I like that.
Yep. And then I am going to... That doesn't feel like enough for Impress, Surprise, or Frighten, so I think I will create an opportunity for my allies.
Okay. So here's what happens then. You stomp the ground and this this massive chunk of stone kicks up, or chunk of asphalt kicks up in front of you, and then you punch it forward and it hurtles through the air. So what Null Point does is, as these spikes are going forward, they instead interlock in front of them, forming sort of a barricade, which, so not finalizing the attack against Gentry, instead blocking as the asphalt hits, and you see it push back, kind of stretch, and then boom, flings back forward in your direction. And I'll say, since you didn't pick resist or avoid their blows, I'm going to say that'll connect against you, so that'll inflict 1 condition against you.
Okay.
But you also inflict a condition on them with that solid hit.
Okay, I have marked angry.
Okay, so did they. As that follows through and those spikes sort of fall to the ground, Null Point sort of reconvenes and the shadow sort of reforms around them, and as it reforms, it instead kind of barricade or kind of forms a dome around their body, kind of protecting their central form, and begins to grow in size. And as it does, it sort of like pulsates, and each pulse, you see little shadow creatures begin to form off of it and then run across the ground very quickly towards the rest of the group. So names. Mutaboy and Fantasia, what are you doing?
Fantasia.
Okay. I am going to try to channel a reality storm with one of my burn that I have. And this time, and I think for the first time ever, I'm gonna try to make it like a literal storm. So it's a destructive burst, but I want to try to, like above where all the little shadows are, channel this cloud that drops, I guess, like lightning zaps on all the little guys, and try to zap them.
Okay. Make
it
your...
is directly engage a threat using Freak.
Okay.
If you do, you will cause unwanted collateral damage unless you spend another burn, which I do not.
Okay.
Do.
Make your roll.
7!
Okay.
To directly engage. So whatever that means, I never do it.
So you have to pick one from the list, resist or avoid their blows, take something from them, create opportunity, impress, surprise, or frighten. And then, like I did with Lambast, bear in mind if you don't pick any of those, it means the inverse is happening.
Okay. Yeah, I'm gonna have to resist or avoid their blows.
Okay. But you do, it is a success. So you hit, and here's what happens then. So this kind of, I'm imagining almost a psychic cloud forming above them, this dark light kind of sparking with like this purple lightning running through it. And then just one at a time, as these creatures, the kind of snarling little imp-like creatures are running across the ground, just one by one coming down and striking them, just obliterating each one with each hit. So you don't do any damage against like Null Point Prime, but you do destroy the attack that was coming towards all of you. So let's see. So I think here is the other part of that, though.
There is some collateral damage.
That's what I was going to get into. So as that storm rages, it begins to strike at the cars in the parking lot around you too, and just sort of just destroys all of the asphalt and the terrain and almost the entire parking lot surrounding this fight right now, even hitting parts of the civic center too. And as the dust begins to settle, you see that that dome around Null Point begins to fade, and you see Null Point standing there. And beside them is an object that you've seen before. You see the bomb that was that had destroyed Beacon City before, now rendered in smoke and shadow, but with the same glowing center mass that Null Point absorbed the first time. And that is the continuation of their angry condition. So, what do you do next?
So there's Null Point having produced this bomb.
Yeah.
I don't know exactly where we're at, but if there's like if it's like an intersection or a park or some kind of clearing, I'm just going to open up the my Kirby craft and just like increase the size of it. And I imagine like the way it's constructed is like a little bit like a helicopter chassis, a little bit like it's just kind of like an open box almost, like on two sides, and like and hopefully we just need to get them in there.
Okay, so you're sort of forming the trap there.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, hold on. So when this actually is a roll, it's like when you're flying your ship, you can use it to unleash your powers, directly engage a threat, or defend someone using superior. I don't know if any of those technically apply, but we could do like maybe unleash your powers for like how effective it is, or something.
Yeah, let's do that. Let's roll to unleash your powers, and then you get to. You roll using superior. You said.
I am allowed to roll using superior. No, it's or defend someone using superior.
Oh, or defend someone using superior. Okay.
I'm just gonna. With my mod, it still would have been a miss. So, if for my superior mod, it would have been a miss.
Okay. All right. So that's a failure on that. So here's what I think happens. You pull out the device and you hit the commands or whatever you need to cause it to begin to grow, and it grows to about its normal size, and then it continues to grow, and it finally gets up to that like the massive cube shape that you were looking for, and then it kind of it shrinks down to about its normal size again. So you something has malfunctioned in this moment that is not allowing it to be the size that you want it to form this trap.
Okay. All right. Then Mutaboy just flies down towards it and just starts like furiously trying to figure out what's going on.
Okay. So what will happen at this point is these rifts are forming all through kind of like the air right now, and you see Null Point, this tendril of black shadow go shooting up through one of them. And as it returns, it is now holding this massive ice spike, or this like icicle, and it takes it and hurls that icicle. I think this time it is attacking at Lambast, who is the one that damaged before. I think all of you have acted at this point, so I'll just open it up to the group. What do you guys do?
I haven't acted since we ran out of the building.
Yes, yeah, all of you guys. I was saying that kind of. I've
Yeah.
given you guys all one thing,
Yeah.
so you can do something if you want.
Cool. I'm going to attempt to defend Lambast this time, even though I know he could probably take it.
I mean, I'm assuming this is ice from the dimension that can actually hurt me.
Oh, and I would know about this. Okay. I'm gonna do the same thing that I've done before. I'm gonna try and really quickly grow like a little forest of bamboo and like poplars and stuff, just like basically a whole bunch of windbreaks, like things that like easily break but just a lot really close together, so that the ice has to go through them and will eventually lose momentum and stop before it hits Lambast.
Okay, roll to defend someone.
I will. And because I just improved because of failing last time. Does that count? Did we determine that counts if you use team to make it a success?
No,
you
it
don't
doesn't.
get this.
Then
Yeah.
never mind.
Yeah.
I'll just roll normally. Which I hope works. Nope, not this. Now I improve.
Unless somebody else wants to
With a
another
6.
team point to succeed on the roll.
I'm just too busy working on the thing.
That's fine. Okay.
A little too late.
I'll take it.
Whoops.
So on a 6, I think it just rips straight through
Yeah.
the barricade.
Yeah, I think I don't grow it in time. Like it
Yeah.
goes over some of them. Some of just like snap, and it's just not enough mass.
Yeah.
It
Yeah.
didn't react fast enough.
I think that's exactly what happens. I think it slams into Ian.
And it picks up all the bamboo shoots like spears onto the icicle.
Don't do me dirty like this, Ryan.
It arms itself with
The ice gets even pointier.
Bamboos, and then it starts like after
You
it's
had your time to run this game.
So I'm gonna say, Ian, unless there's something you want to try to do here, I think it's gonna connect with you. Unless there's something you can think of.
Yeah, I mean, nothing that's worth spending a team point for, but I can, I could do stuff, but if it's going to take a team point to...
No, I'm saying your move, what you want to do here to react to this.
I think what I want to do is grab one of the bamboo shoots that has grown up right in front of me, rip it up, and try and baseball bat the ice.
Okay.
Maybe try and hit it back at Null Point, but that's probably asking too much.
Okay. What I will count this as directly engaging a threat. I think that's the most literal definition of directly engaging a threat I can think of.
Yeah.
So, go ahead and roll that again.
Another full hit, only a 10 this time.
Only a 10.
I'll just keep missing. You keep full hitting. It's balanced. It's fine.
Yep, so going to resist or avoid their blows.
Okay.
And I think now I'm going to frighten the opposition
Okay.
because I have just taken everything, because they maybe remember me from Halloween and I forget what I did when we saw it, when it had the bomb, but it's like, oh heck, this guy's not messing around anymore.
If I remember correctly, Ian did a lot of sassy remarks.
That was more at Zeitgeist, less at...
Oh, that's right. That's right.
Okay. So yeah, you I think what you do is, I don't know about ricocheting the ice right back, but you take the bamboo and sort of flipping over one hand, you slash downwards. I think in a very anime style, it just sort of parts around you and then crashes into two cars behind you. And then you sort of prepare yourself, or take this back. I guess you could throw it back at them, or the bamboo shoot at them if you really wanted to.
An ineffectual javelin.
Yeah, I think it's effective enough though with your strength, and I'll sort of continue that with the action. So you've defended yourself from the blow, and then you take this and you hurl it towards them. And I think the spike just slams kind of right into their shoulder. It like kind of grazes past them, and you see that smoke part for a minute. And you see that same sort of that very old, like kind of, like I said, the like Greek armor underneath. For just a moment, you see some like grayish skin, and then it pulls back over. The shadow covers it once again, and Null Point gives out a roar of frustration at that point. I'm gonna have them mark another condition. They are going to mark. They're going to mark afraid, because you did use your thing to frighten the opposition. And since they're afraid, they are going to. Yeah, I think what happens is, because Gentry, you sort of formed the things on the ground, and you're sort of right there in this big target, kind of getting in the way. They are going to lash out at you, and the tendrils kind of all gather together, forming these two massive like pillars, which just rocket upward and slam right into Gentry, kind of middle mass. Yeah, what do you want to do?
I use one of my burn to do shielding. I call up a fast protective field to stop danger, to defend someone else from an immediate threat. Rolling freak.
Okay, so you roll to defend, and you get to roll freak instead of okay. Make sure I was understanding that. Yeah, roll to defend someone.
10.
Okay, 10. So you get to. Why do I not have this
I
up?
get to throw up a barrier defending someone who is in danger.
You do.
As far as
For NPC threats on a hit, you keep them. You keep them safe and choose one. So you get to add a team to the pool, take influence, or clear a condition.
Oh, clear a condition.
Okay, and it doesn't say who the condition. Whose condition you clear? So I assume
I have
you get to
4.
choose.
I have none.
Yeah, so I assume you can just clear one of your own conditions.
Gonna
You
do
defend them
that.
so good, you feel better about it.
No offense, but I feel maybe less afraid.
Okay.
Why would I be offended by that?
So here's what happens. The shield forms in front of you. This purple the pylons hit, or the pillars hit. The shield cracks and fractures, but holds steady as some of the pieces fall away. As you're holding them at bay, and Gentry, you are safe. You're still in your like massive form though, right? There is a bit of darkness, and you look up, and through the hole you see Null Point, who has leapt into the air and is now coming through the hole that is created, and is like coming down onto where you and Olivia are right now. So I'm trying to think of who's taking you. There's been a lot of defend rolls and stuff going on right now. I think the only person who hasn't taken action a little bit is Ryan, Mutaboy. Mutable, you're in the machine. You're looking at your Kirby Craft. What do you want to do?
Kind of imagine Lucas kind of like slamming on consoles, like pulling out like panels, wires spilling out, frantically moving around, and then in kind of a just kind of trying to, I guess, accepting that maybe he needs more help than he thought. He's gonna do his moment of truth.
Okay. Read that for us.
So the first part of that is basically I embrace, like the console comes up and Lucas sends out a transmission. Embraces his home and calls them for aid. And they will answer his call in force! Exclamation point. Arriving exactly when you need them to turn the tide.
Okay. Is there any other flavor to it?
Just kind of like calls for us, like he's like he needs help. He's like, so, please I need you. I can't figure this out. I need you to come, please, blah father and blah mother. I don't know.
No, I like that. So I kind of imagine what happens then is this: you have the panel in front of you. It's like a static right now. You're not sure if it's working. You're just sending through this transmission. And as you're sitting there by the panel and just frustrated, and I think what feels like an eternity passes, and you see Null Point leap into the air and is going after Gentry and Olivia, and then you also see all these rifts in the air, and you see more rifts beginning to form around them, hundreds of these small rifts in space and time. But instead of chaos and destruction on the other side, you see this familiar glow of energy, something that looks like the light of your home planet. And there, suddenly in the air, you see close to 100 of these small little spheres forming these small little pods shooting through the air, and each one kind of sticking to a place, hovering around multiples of these like craft, much like Lucas's, all forming around, and you see them begin to pulse, and most of them begin to glow and send out these beams toward these other rifts all around, and begin to try to like stabilize those and seal them closed to prevent any sort of disruption there. And then two of them very quickly kind of spiral downwards right next to you, Lucas, on either side of your ship, and you hear a voice through your speakers of your glob father, who says, "We're here, Lucas. How can we help?"
I need to get the size dimensional expansion machine monogene and it'll working again.
The other pod you get a transition says, "I think we know just what to do." And they begin to spiral in the air, kind of hover around it for a moment, kind of orbiting around your ship. And then this field begins to form that encompasses your ship too, as they're transferring their energy into yours. And you see all the sensors and the lights beginning to turn on and light up. And then you feel the ship begin to shudder as it begins to expand. Now that it has the sufficient amount of energy to do so, and it grows and grows and grows and grows until it stabilizes at the size that you attempted to get it to grow to before.
Okay. And Lucas just like when he sees it, just so excited. And then just turns over his shoulder and shouts at him. He's like, "It's ready!"
The trap is set. Null Point is sailing through the air and is coming through the pit. So looks like Ian, you have something to do.
Yes, I got this. This is what you do best. You let loose all the pent-up strength and rage and glee, and you break whatever stands in your way. You are a walking demolition crew. What can stand up to you? Nothing. Not buildings, not structures, not enemies, nothing. I'm using my moment of truth to intercept Null Point before it gets to my friends, beat the ever-loving shit out of him, and get him into the Kirby craft, into the trap, so we can get him and the Shadow Bomb away. Okay.
So I think here's what is going to happen in this case. You can... I think just to add a little more drama to the situation, do you want to go for no point, or do you want to go through the bomb? You can do whichever one you want without question, but I think it's going to be a choice between one or the other.
I think I'm going after no point because they're going after my friends.
Okay. So no point leaps into the air and is hovering above the two of you. You're holding up this shield, Olivia. Gentry, you are sort of trying to regain your footing after having been like obliterated by the ice spike before. And you see at no point descending down, their fingers forming into long, like razor sharp claws. And just as they're about to enter through the shield, there is this rush of wind, and you see from below Lambast come rocketing up in a forceful leap and just grapples onto Null Point. It flies another probably 30 feet into the air, holding on to him, and then like suplexes him from like 80 feet up down into the ground, just slamming him right into the earth. And I think there's probably like 10 or 15 punches that are just thrown straight into this creature as you are trying to get Null Point to submit. Definitely takes another condition as you are doing this. I think definitely going to mark hopeless here. And you, I think after pummeling, you just grab the now like limp body of Null Point and just hurl it into the Kirby craft, where it just slams up against like one of the central like pylons of the craft. So as this is happening, I'll get 1 second. I promise I'll do. I'll give you a turn next. As this is happening and it slams in, Null Point is all the shadow is sort of draping off of them, and you see the person there, this gray-skinned, bald, almost featureless human form with these glowing white eyes. And again, wearing this very distinct, like period, like Greek armor with a sword at their side, and they look bloodied and broken and are like backing up and like holding themselves against the wall in fear and dread and looking around for any chance to escape. The bomb is still there and gives off this flash of light as that the is beginning to glow and vibrate, and it seems like it is about to detonate. Olivia, you had something you wanted to do.
I also have a moment of truth.
Geez, does everyone have their moment of truth this time?
I don't.
Okay. Well, we'll see. If you fail again, you may grab another.
It's the last session. What else are we supposed to use on
No, I love it. So what is your moment of truth?
The prickly feeling, the prickly tingling fear of your doom always in your head holds you back most of the time, but right here, right now, it gives you the confidence to do anything. After all, what's the worst that could happen? Is it worse than your doom? Do impossible things, do anything. But mark a doom sign when you're finished. I want to contain the bomb.
Okay.
Using whatever I have left.
Okay. All right. So I think here's what happens. There is a moment where everything seems to move kind of slowly. So Null Point has been hurled into the containment field, into the Kirby craft by Lucas, who I imagine is just standing kind of menacing outside of it, like, I dare you to come back out. Yes, Ryan, you're muted.
That's pretty funny because like Lucas has been as sexy Lambast this whole time. so Null Point, who just got throttled by Lambast, might actually be scared of that.
Yeah, that there's a sexier.
That there's another Lambast and even sexier.
Yeah, that tracks. So angry Lambast and sexy Lambast are standing there, waiting, just prepared to set this off. And Gentry, you are you're also like your vision kind of returns to you as the field fades away that Olivia has formed, and you kind of get to see the scene around you, and you see the bomb just as it detonates, and you see Olivia standing right next to it. And there's a moment of recognition, I think, as you all see Olivia standing right next to the bomb, and you're not even sure how she got there, but she's wreathed in this purple glow. And as the bomb flashes, Olivia gives off a similar flash, and then there is this dome that forms around the two of them, completely encasing the explosion, which you still get that almost concussive blast, or that initial shockwave from, that seems to knock all of you back, as this orb is now hovering in the air and perfectly contains the explosion itself. And then it does the outer shell, this egg, almost seems to dissolve away, and it's empty, and you don't see Olivia. Null Point begins to looking around. The shadows begin to return, and they begin to streak towards the outskirts of the Kirby craft, trying to flee. Lucas hits the button, and as the shadows hit the edge, they are instantly cut off, and the Kirby craft shrinks down once again, and like I imagine the hatches close around it, and Null Point's on the inside and reaching around the containment and hitting things, and you hear this like shrieking, shrill scream from inside, and then soup, the ship is gone.
Renio looks for Olivia. Like in the same way that they have looked for stuff before, like sending their consciousness out into all of the roots underneath the city, like sending out spores of things into the air, like sensing for anything that, like any trace.
Okay, yeah, you tap in everything around you. I'm gonna have you roll to use your powers.
Okay. I cannot believe this. That's a 7. It's fine. It's not a miss for once, but it's 7.
Okay. You send out a the feelers around you, and it snakes through the ground, and you feel that pulse, and you're trying to pick up any sign of anything else moving in the area, and kind of sensing out for Olivia, and you don't sense her nearby. I think you're limited in your scope with the 7, but in the immediate vicinity of the grounds, there's she's not there. What happens around you as Gentry is doing this, the port, or the rifts begin to close, one by one. Some of them close on their own, some of them are assisted by Lucas's people, and as they have finished and things have sort of calmed down, you watch a lot of the orbs kind of zoop, 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 begin to disappear, until it's just the 2 remaining with Lucas.
Oh, I probably should read the other part of this.
Yeah, I think I remember what it says. Why don't you read it for me?
So they fight and serve you for the rest of the battle. Of course, when all is said and done, they'd probably like to take you home with them.
Yeah.
You did, after all, just prove yourself worthy.
And so I think the 2 remain, and they kind of zoom down to you, Lucas, and they say, I think it's over. We're not showing this dimension in any danger of collapsing now.
You're sure?
As sure as we can be.
Oh, that is pretty sure.
Your ship is gone, though.
Yes. I know that I'm only allowed to have one of those, and that's not like okay, and I can't get another one, but it had to be done.
We hadn't finished paying off the lease on it, but I'm sure something will...
I don't know.
Well, you're not going to be able to come home on your own. So, we'll be back to pick you up. I know these people here seem to have some sort of attachment to you, and you seem to like them. So we'll give you a little bit of time. I
Thank you.
suppose... I don't know. It's hard to tell. Earth years and time here is strange. Is 10 a lot? I'm not really sure.
I don't know. It's so contextual. Sometimes it is, and sometimes it isn't. I don't know. This
Let's-
whole base 10 math is really badungus.
Let's say 10 then. We'll be back in 10.
Okay.
And the pod disappears, and the other pod says for a second and says, make sure to make sure you're eating right, and make sure to brush your gel. And disappears.
Blah, mom.
And as the rest of the holes close, you see kind of there's some sirens and stuff forming around in this now mostly destroyed parking lot. However, as you guys are waiting, and I think Rose walks back out for a moment and is kind of like freaked out by what's happening. And she begins to say, "Where's Olivia?" And as that happens, there is another flash in the air in front of you, the same like purple explosion of energy. And from about 30 feet up in the air, Olivia is falling.
Well, I'm still a zillion feet tall, so bloop.
Yeah. You stick out your hand and you catch her and begin to lower her towards the ground. And she's not moving at first, which is I think disconcerting initially. But she looks okay.
What is her hair doing?
Yeah.
Her hair is about...
Was it blonde and standing up?
No, her hair's the same color. You dyed it the same color that it was before, right? So it's...
I see
Yes.
you, Ryan.
Thank you.
But it's about a foot longer.
Is this about a foot longer than it was earlier?
And her clothes are a little tattered.
Is this about a 10 longer than it was earlier?
I'm surprised you know that. You don't usually notice hair differences.
And she looks a little older.
How much is a little?
I mean, not much older, but just a little bit.
Okay. But living, yes.
I'm not saying
Breathing,
she
yes.
looks like 45 years old. I'm just saying she looks a
She's on
little bit.
She's on the brink of death at 35.
1 foot in the grave, 27.
And Olivia, your eyes begin to open.
Who's holding me right now?
It me!
It
The
was super
giant
cool,
gentry.
right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm super glad to be alive right now.
So is everybody in Beacon City.
Thanks for catching me.
Oh, why is your hair like 10 longer?
Time travel?
Have you been traveling through time?
I don't know. I just woke up.
You smell like you've been time traveling.
I stopped a whole bomb, Lucas. Can we focus on that for a second?
Can I
Wait,
heal?
there was a bomb?
Can I heal her at all, just like for flavor?
Yes, you can.
Thanks.
So
Sure.
let's
Cherry
So-
flavored healing.
Yeah.
to kind of put a button on all this.
Wait a second. No, wait a second.
Yes.
My boyfriend thought I was dead.
For like 2 minutes.
Yep. I mean, you said the parking lot was mostly destroyed. It's completely destroyed at this point. Ian was just screaming and tearing shit up the whole time.
Yeah. I
would
like
the-
I would like to know what happens, please.
Ian!
I think comes over. Is Olivia standing at this point or still being carried?
Nah, I'm being carried. Please, do you know me?
Yeah.
I am Groot.
I think comes over. Does just like isn't saying anything. Comes over, gives Olivia a shove. Don't do that again, and then goes in to hug her.
Ow! I literally stopped a whole bomb. Why are you like this?
Oh, shut up! You're super strong. You can take it.
I will hug him back.
Rose comes out and again with the clipboard and in hand still wearing the mic pack that's like slightly off her head and says, "Good job. I don't know what just happened, but good job. You're all still alive. The world's not falling apart. Are we good?
Ish.
Because we still have a panel in like 30 minutes that we can get to.
Ah, man, breaking into the industry and a male-dominated sort of industry. Yeah, we've got to get back there right
Are
away.
there still people here?
There's a couple. We'll round them back up, and as like the sirens are coming in, all
tickets
the
were
police
pretty expensive.
officers, and
I
you're watching
cannot
this.
wait to give my second speech, you guys.
You guys see as like there are these crowds like the protesters around, and they have all like dropped their signs and are just like standing like agape watching this, and all like the police officers there too that are pulling up are like again slack-jawed, just kind of standing half in their cars and not really sure what to say. And the people that were in the arena are coming out, some of them flying, some of them running super fast, some of them as like animals and then transforming back into themselves. And as they all come out and see you and see that everything is fine again, they begin to applaud and they begin to clap and they begin to cheer and chant vigilantes in a rhythmic way that makes sense for that word, even though it's very difficult to chant. And you see the humans, the normies.
Vigilantes.
I'm glad we had that moment. And the all the protesters, I don't think all of them start like cheering and stuff and high-fiving too, but you definitely see some of them like smiling and some of them begin to clap and some of them look relieved and hug each other and some of them look really conflicted. And
Sometimes that's enough.
And we pan back and back and back away from this scene up towards the clouds up above the city. And over Beacon City, everything seems to be fine and nothing terrible is happening. And one fireworks factory that was recently constructed in the last few weeks still
And
stands.
by the way, the name of it is Fireworks, but it's WERKS.
Yes. And a helicopter flies over. Thump, 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 thump. I can't. That's the most I can do. So, what I want to ask then, and I know we're past time, but I really wanted to get the chance to do this, and we'll keep it quick. But what happens next for the Vigilantes, for each of you individually?
I can go whenever.
You can go first.
Okay. So, I mean, or how much time are we talking?
As much time as you think is relevant for your character.
Okay. Over time, just going to, I think what I'm going to do is slowly rebuild the Kirby craft. Like, build my own. I think it takes a long time to do that, maybe a couple of years. And then we'll just say a year, like by senior year. And I'm going to take Shannon on a jaunt around the universe. So, like, I mean, I know there's a picture of a black hole, but she's going to be able to see one closer
Yeah.
than that. And she's also like astronomy nerd, so I'm gonna show her all the sites that I thought were cool in the universe. This one anyway. Yeah. And I don't know if she wants to. I doubt she'd want to come with me to another dimension. But then I'll probably just like bounce back home, but leaving the Vigilantes like a phone basically that can like communicate with me whenever Dr. Contagion or whatever shows up. And I'll handle that.
That's the one they get, and then
Yeah.
you're done.
Yeah.
Okay. So, yeah, I mean, I don't think Shannon would say no to going to another dimension. You know, obviously she's probably at college and stuff and wants to.
Yeah. I'll take her out on spring breaks and stuff like that.
Okay. You maintain a very long distance relationship then.
Yeah.
Okay.
And in another sense, there's no distance in between us all at all.
I think she finds that very endearing.
Okay.
Oh, that is adorable. Okay. Who's next?
I guess I can go. Ian graduates. He's going off to college for journalism. Gonna go the Clark Kent route.
Yes.
But I think does end up going out of state for school, but comes back as often as possible to hang out with the other vigilantes and obviously see his girlfriend, who is hopefully still alive at this point. We'll find out in her epilogue, I guess. But yeah, continues to. I think he probably adopts an alternate persona to still do superheroing when he's away. So, same power set, but is not Lambast, is just another, strongman type out there. But then whenever he's back in Beacon City, is, redons the cape of Lambast. And I think probably after, I don't know, may have to see what happens in Olivia's epilogue, but after, yeah, I don't think I can say what happens after graduation yet, other than he keeps doing his thing.
Okay.
I gotta say, Imagine if like the Superman came out now, like Clark Kent would like mainly be on Twitter. You know what I mean? Like writing
Just
for
have
like
a blog. Yeah.
writing for like Teen Vogue. Like how
Or
different
Vice.
that. Yeah, and Vice, like it would feel very different. Okay, sorry, that was
No,
it.
it's okay.
I just funny. Continue.
Okay, mine's not very interesting.
All right, then you should probably go next.
I'm sure it is.
Eh.
I'm just kidding. I'm sure it's
I'm
interesting.
interested.
um.
It's like great. We'll just skip you, Olivia.
Okay, next. Gentry goes home and sees their parents again for the first time since they got their powers. Basically, they decide to maybe this is just who they are now. Like, basically, after this, it's just like, you know what? And after probably talking with Rose some more, maybe Olivia some more, I don't know, maybe Lucas some more, finally. It's just like, finally learns to accept who they are and goes home to see their mom and dad. And that's all I got, really. Just reunites with their fam and like accepts living life as who and what they are, and maybe even tries to re-enter society and like maybe is pleasantly surprised to find that they can do person things.
Do you think you and Rose continue to like, I guess, stay friends and stay close and stuff?
Yeah, dude, unless she's like, nope, we're not friends anymore.
Okay.
Gentry is all about that.
I want to no, and I'll get to that too, Olivia. I will. I think this is going to tie in one thing with tying off Rose's epilogue, because I do want to do that, but I don't want that to be like, now let me tell my story.
No, I just want us all to be friends.
Yes, I think Rose probably. One thing about Rose, I think she gets really into this marketing thing and this like part like event planning. And starts to really kind of buckle down and like focus on studies more, because doesn't want to be a high school student the rest of her life. And tries to, I think Rose ends up not having to repeat that year again and takes like summer classes to avoid the couple weeks that she missed. But I think after hanging out with Rose for a couple of weeks, and I didn't know if this was going to come up today during the fight, but it didn't. I think it worked out perfectly. But I think there's a moment where like the two of you are hanging out, Gentry, and like Rose isn't like a huge like on the giving hugs and like physical contact stuff, but I think you're connecting about some of the things that have happened since you lost your powers, and I think Rose really opens up to you about how hard it was to see with Spectra, and opens up about just how upset she actually is with that. And I think she goes, you give her a hug, and as you do, you transform back into your human self for a moment as you're in contact with her. And as you release, you change back. And I think in that moment, and Rose realizes it too, that her powers never really went away, but the amount of guilt that she felt from the death of Spectra and causing it caused her to subconsciously negate her own powers over this entire time frame. And I think it doesn't come back right away, even after that realization. I think it takes a while and probably a lot of therapy. But I think eventually she gets to a place where she forgives herself and is able to return to her role as Recall again.
I love it.
So let's do Olivia's, and then we can wrap the rest of this up.
I just wanted to talk before I actually started crying.
Nope, not allowed.
Obviously. Oh no, I have to make a decision right now. Olivia does not give up her powers. And I think moving forward tries to kind of control them as best she can and use them where she can. And maybe tries to work with her dad on ways to make them not so destructive all the time. But I think she can help too many people to give them up. And in the meantime, graduates. Valedictorian, obviously. Please. And goes to nursing school.
Okay.
And has a weird long distance boyfriend, I guess.
I'll say one thing about Olivia's story and something that kind of comes out afterwards is I think you have that conversation with your dad and you go through some of the testing. I think your dad, like almost immediately after the event, kind of sees you and notices there's something off. I think you're about like an inch taller than you were
finally.
before. And probably the last that you grew. And again, like your hair was longer, your fingernails were uncut. Like there was something definite, like there was a passage of time. There was time that you missed. And I think your dad sort of confirms that in like, medical testing or whatnot.
Carbon dated your bones.
Yeah, who knows? Well, probably, measure like doing x-rays and seeing like the amount of like the cartilage and stuff like that.
How many rings are in the cartilage? Yep.
And I don't know, like through other means, and you're not quite sure how long, but you guess about a year is what you lost. And you're not, those memories never come back, and you aren't sure where you spent that year or how it happened or what happened. But there is one change. When you use your powers, you still have that same like life force draining, like those abilities are still there, the psychic constructs and stuff like that. But there's something different. You feel this connection to some sort of energy that's separate from you. Like a piece of you was left wherever that was, or that you brought a piece of wherever you were back with you. And I think Olivia finds that she's able to stem the coming doom by utilizing that energy. And again, I think it's this big like question mark, and something that I don't think you find out in the next couple of years, and maybe you'll find out in the future, but I think it's something that helps sustain her past a longer age than you originally thought, even with your with the nature of your powers and keeping them. Was there anything anybody else wanted to add?
Yeah, well, we should add one last thing. Why are y'all shaking your heads like we shouldn't? We should all sign each other's yearbooks. Come on.
Oh yeah, Gentry totally gets their GED.
Did you like do you go to classes like with Rose so that you can go
that would be cute, because I think
Okay.
technically Gentry should have been graduated already,
Yeah.
but who knows that? Nobody.
Okay. I like doing some additional classes over the summer and then online classes to substitute it or to add to. I like that. Okay, you guys sign each other's do you guys want to come up with yearbook signings that you wrote in each other? That would be a lot to sit here and
All right, follow your jelly to everybody.
follow
No, but
your-
I definitely crafted a
tags.
little scrapbook that is like our little Vigilantes yearbook, because we all graduated at ridiculously different times.
Ridiculously, I think they're all just like about a year or two apart at most.
That's a long time when you're only
That's true.
18?
Well, who knows?
No one knows.
No one knows.
I craft us a little scrapbook.
Okay.
There's one other thing that happens. About 5 years later, you guys all continue the Vigilantes, maybe not as active as you were before because there are so many other groups that are helping. Other people that have either maybe you've allowed them to join the Vigilantes and kind of wear your banner, or that have started their own somewhere else. But it grows and it grows and it grows. There's so many people that want to do this, want to help, and there's an equal amount that are doing bad in the world, but there's always enough good people to stand against them. And about 5 years later, you are approached by some shady government agency. Arrives in a white SUV with very tinted windows, and it comes out wearing white suits. And they don't give names, but they give you a card with an address.
With their name.
No. Give you a card with an address. And tell you that if you want to continue to help, if you want to make the world a better place, that there's a place for you there, and that you can keep doing what you want, and no one will try to stop you, and that you will have the support of not just your city, not just your country, but the world. And the organization is printed on the front: the World Organization of National Danger Resistance, WONDR, as you are tasked to join the first Wonder Unit. And that is how it all began. The end. Question mark.
That's funny.
That's it. That's all I have.
Called in somewhere.
Oh, that was awesome.
Fantastic. Yay, everybody. We did it.
I'm sure there's stuff that didn't get answered, and questions that I forgot about along the way. Obviously, you guys as players, if you have any questions or want to ask me anything, you know where to find me.
Is Pyro still in a bottle somewhere?
Yeah, I think so. I think that's something that maybe
cool.
gets resolved later on in Olivia's story, when she finally takes on or begins her in earnest or fight against Pandemonium. But yeah.
Where was Olivia for a year?
No one knows.
But well, okay. That's why I'm asked the question.
No, I actually I don't
No,
I don't
okay.
really have an answer for that question. I think she was in a what am I trying to say?
Slipstream of time.
Well, because you took the move from the Beacon playbook, or not the Beacon, the Nova
Well, I do
playbook.
have a move from the Beacon playbook.
Yes, but you took the one from the Nova playbook, and we
Yes,
kind
I
of
have
talked about that
Nova.
before, about like maybe transitioning to the Nova at one point, if like depending on how things went.
Yes.
And so I think there is a like primal energy source that feeds into this power that you were kind of pulling from and kind of forcing through using your psychic abilities, and kind of where you were pulling that energy from using your Nova moves. I think you, in that explosion, transport yourself to the origin source of that power, and sort of were like bathed in it for like a year, and kind of pulled some of that into yourself, like bolstering your own powers and stemming your own destruction.
Exactly how I imagined it.
But as far as the it's sort of like the Phoenix Force, I think. It's a good example.
Very cool.
I don't the reason why I say I don't really know is like I don't think the dimension has a name. It's not like there are people there that were like training her for a year or something. It was just
But refused to cut her nails or hair.
yeah.
Right.
Um
You would like them longer, darling. You will.
yeah.
Um,
It was
They'll
super
grow on
cool,
you.
whatever it is, please.
Any other questions?
I just feel like what's Ricky Rickerson doing?
I would
Oh,
love to know
man.
this also.
I think. Well, you created that character. I feel like you should
No,
answer it.
I didn't. I haven't created a single thing.
I think Rick Rickerson was fired shortly after the
Finally.
That makes sense.
Seems right.
But I think he went to work for a lumber company where he could use a chainsaw as much as he wanted.
No,
With no other people around.
There's those trees that have like the red sap that looks like blood and stuff like that. He probably just specializes in that.
Gosh.
Yeah.
Everyone has a
or
place.
opened like I think he works there most of the year, but during the fall does like a very successful like haunted house.
Does
Perfect.
Oh.
does Jake grow up to be a crime fighter, or does not do anything with his powers?
Jake,
That's a T-Rex boy.
T-Rex boy, that's right. Yeah, I like the idea that if you reached out to them and you were helping them, if you continued that relationship and trying to like foster these younger superheroes or power people, I think they'd be willing. I think you kind of have the ultimate to say whether you kind of push them that direction or not. But I think they would have been inspired by some of that, especially you asked them to come to WonderCon and they saw all that, and I think could have grown up to be a very successful superhero. I don't think they went the villain route or anything. I think it would have.
What about DJ Hellmouth? Did they ever get the help they need?
I tried so hard.
Let's see. You didn't do anything to DJ Hellmouth. They were just. I'm trying to remember at the end of the whole thing.
I think they were just like unconscious. Like Rose brought like an unconscious DJ Hellmouth, put him on the couch, and then everything went down.
Yeah.
I think.
Yeah, I think DJ Hellmouth deserves a happier ending. I think they probably, after all the crap that went down, trying to get revenge. I think probably if the team reached out again, I think I leave that up to you guys as a whole. If you reach out to these people and you continue to try to like rehabilitate them.
I mean, I think Olivia definitely does because she was kind of at the center of all of that.
Yeah.
That's Bobby her friend, not just DJ Hellmouth.
I can keep asking questions.
I mean, I'm curious if Steven was just temporarily a transformed or if he's actually a transformed and he just hulks out.
No, he actually is. He's actually anathema. And at some point towards the end of his life, he totally loses control over it and goes anathema like full force.
Steven.
Well, I was leading into like being buddies with him, but geez.
No, he goes totally berserk towards the end, and
Yeah. Oh
Yeah.
man.
But Bobby's doing great, right?
not everyone gets a happy ending.
How dare you? That was my one question.
That's the only way I can tie it into the original Wonder World,
Yeah.
because anathema's still going then.
Okay.
I mean, it could be a Dr. Jackal, Mr. Hyde thing where the Jackal shows up more often than the Hyde, but
Yeah, I think I'm
Do I
not
have
saying there's
to
not
backwards?
any hope, but I think when he is in his anathema form, is again like the Hulk, like doesn't age and like has a semblance of kind of like immortality. To
Probably
him.
outlived all the vigilantes.
Yeah, no, he definitely does. He outlives all of you. I think he does have that in and out.
Excuse
I think
me?
well, I guess that's true. I think he does have that in and out, and every once in a while it comes back to being Steven and like tries to make things better. I think he just doesn't have any control over his powers. And there might be years where he spends in like containment and tries to help and do things and is recruited by Wonder, that has a very like dualistic, because as soon as he hulks out to anathema, he is nothing but
I love
destruction.
the idea of like 200 years later, like Anathema changes back to Steven. He's like, oh boy, what's happening?
He's like still 14.
It's like,
Yeah.
where am I?
He at least lives long enough to exist in whatever year OG Wonder World existed in.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
Oh
yeah.
man, Avatar 3?
No, he definitely
No,
makes
stop,
it to an adult.
stop, Ryan.
He definitely makes it to an adult before he loses
Nice.
control.
I have a question. Are we still doing questions?
Sure.
Well, I want to know about the court case
Yeah, I
and Ian's
think
family and that guy.
Yeah. So I think what ends up happening is, I guess, Ian, you can say what you might do in the situation. I think he does get the plea deal and ends up spending a minimal amount of time in prison, but gets back involved with gangs and and is not like reformed in any way, like this person that was involved in it. So I guess it's up to Ian whether he steps in and tries to vigilantizes this once vigilantism is more accepted, and is like those sort of archaic rules that kept the case from proceeding forward kind of get redone so that superheroes actually have a chance to help fight crime. So I was thinking that once that happens, Ian sort of steps in and beats the shit out of that guy or something. Yeah.
And definitely it's like next time, think beats him up, drops him at the cops with at some point like, next time you come out of prison, I'm gonna have my eye on you. Just keep that in mind, and lets him imagine the worst.
Yeah, I think he just stays in prison then. That's okay. Yeah, I think that feels right for how that resolves.
Yep. G wants to know what Spectra did to Irma.
I can answer that. Spectra just plant basically. It's this touch thing that she does that she is able to plant this mark that allows her to have influence over people. She was getting fed a version of what the future holds from Zeitgeist this whole time, but she is skeptical of that and wanted to also kind of get Irma's take as well. And so part of her plan was just to, it was mainly just to like bring Irma to her base and then like kind of keep her enthralled there and get as much info as she could about the future. And so she could hold the timeline together. But like, so she set that plan in motion that just like all like fell apart because she died before she could actually do anything about that. So and once she dies, the mark that she puts on people, it just loses power. So Irma probably kind of found herself walking in the street in the middle of the night in some place, and then was like, oh, okay, and then took a lift back to the place, and she was fine.
Yeah.
But yeah. So she didn't end up doing anything that she wanted to do with Irma, but yeah.
Does anybody else have any questions? No. Well, I'll say it again because I said at the beginning, thank you guys for playing in this, and I hope you enjoyed it. I had a lot of fun with the system. I mean, I'll freely admit, like, I'm not like, I don't read a lot of comic books and stuff. I really like superheroes, but I've never been like huge in the superhero genre. And I've done a little bit of research and stuff for this, but I just love the idea of it. I loved kind of building this together and having this fun. This is probably, Wonderworld has probably been one of my favorite sort of IPs that we have worked on. It's been a lot of fun, and I definitely want to return to it in some aspect in the future and do some more in the like OG Wonderworld setting and stuff, or something in between, or doing other things, because this has been really great. And I loved Masks, yeah, and again, all you guys are great, and I'm very happy to have had players like you and a DM or GM like Ryan.
Yeah, how do you feel about that? Be honest.
About the dual GMing. You and I talked about it.
Yeah, we talked about it a little bit.
We talked about it a little bit. I really liked it. I think there are we talked about there being like definite pros and cons to it.
Mm-hmm.
And I would do it again. I think probably make tweaks about like the setup to it and how we would handle that. But yeah, it was fun to kind of play off the things we were setting up for each other.
Yeah.
Because I never I never knew what was going to happen when Ryan sat down to helm an episode.
Yeah, that was for me. That was fun to both like play with the pieces that you threw out there, and then also like just like I mean, it wasn't quite trolling, but like I just wanted to like throw out stuff on like that you would have to deal with.
Yeah.
There's a part of me that just wanted to do that, and I enjoyed. I don't think you ever had that feeling when you did stuff you did, but like I enjoyed.
I wish I should
stuff.
have. I should have done more.
Yeah. I like when you threw stuff out, I enjoyed having to kind of like fit that in with what I was doing. And I hope it was the same usually.
It was very much like long form improv with
Yeah.
each of us trying to say yes to the
Yeah,
last thing the other
for
person
sure.
did and incorporate it into our story. So
Yeah, I think if we're gonna do it again, I would need more of a game Bible that like keeps track of stuff, because like there's a lot of things that like I just forgot were just givens in the universe that that I lost track of.
yeah.
But that's mainly just like the not the actual like overarching thing of how it works. That's just like detail stuff. But yeah.
Savannah, you raising your hand like you were.
Oh, I was just saying I highly recommend that we return to the Wonderworld universe in the future, because 2 campaigns in a row, I've had a character that tried to sacrifice themselves to a bomb that was going to blow up the entire universe and somehow lived.
That is true. I have
OG Cerebellix.
ended 2 campaigns
Fantasia.
with a bomb now. And I'll be honest, I didn't script this one ahead of time. That was just sort of off the cuff. I was like, it'd be good here, a bomb. And then I realized, yep, I did that last time too. But yeah. Yeah. I guess.
One time, Accelerando and Cerebellix ran into a bomb.
Yeah.
And if you want to know more about that, it's on our YouTube.
Yes,
5
I highly
full
recommend
episodes.
it. If you're coming in, because we had a few new people in the chat. If you didn't get a chance to watch all of our Wonderworld stream this go around, I think this was our 17th session of this game.
Yes.
So we did a pretty good amount here. You can watch all 17 of them on YouTube once this one is up. We also had 6 sessions, I believe, of original Wonderworld. We're using the Cypher system for that one. 5 sessions of our original Wonderworld. We were using the Cypher system. It was a bit different. Took place in what's kind of the OG setting. So if you want to know more about where this kind of ends up, where the origin comes to, then check that out. But yeah, I hope we get to do more of this in the future. I really appreciate all of you for playing in it. Check out, just announcements, we're going on way too long. Check out next week or this Saturday. We have Saturday nights at 3:00 Eastern time. We're starting some new stuff there, so come watch. We will have next Monday. I almost forgot about this. Next Monday, we're going to be doing the next session of our Hidden Shrine game. We're going to go 2 weeks in a row because we have some disruptions later in the month. So we're trying to get through it as fast as we can. But it is a dungeon and it's very challenging. So it's been a lot of fun though. We will have an episode of Cyberscape as our podcast coming up in the next couple days. So stay tuned for that. Join our Discord, Twitter, get all our announcements all over the place. And Matropony this time next week on Thursday, or around this time, much earlier than this. We'll be playing, Savannah and I play some video games together.
For which, as you know, I have some ideas.
Yes, always. And stay tuned for what's coming up in this time slot next. In about 4 weeks, Savannah will begin her Monster of the Week campaign. Another Power of the Apocalypse, same kind of system. A lot of familiar faces there. And we will be hunting some monsters and having a lot of goofs along the way. It's ridiculous. We did our character building earlier this week, and the characters are nuts.
You guys are going to love it.
There are already so many goops.
Yeah.
And I'm going to interrupt Sean one more time before he stops Because
Yes.
I think as players, we should thank you guys for running this game. 'Cause You
Yeah.
have thanked us enough.
Yeah. It's been really fun.
It's been really great. And we love you both. And it was so much fun. And thank you for doing it.
Of course. And I enjoyed playing with you guys too. I liked being able to play in this world as well. I didn't say that before.
Yeah.
But it's not
Um,
fair for you to thank us and us not to thank you. So
True.
thanks
But
for
I'm-
doing it. And we loved it.
Yeah, but I'm gonna quit forever because G suggested it in chat.
Yeah.
Dang it, G.
Well, gee, that's what you get. You reap what you sow.
Thank you
And
guys.
we all suffer for it.
It was
Yeah.
good. It was good playing with you, Ryan. I enjoyed it.
Well, all right.
And he was never
guess
heard
so.
from again.
Bye forever, I guess.
All right.
That's
Well-
made up by these very dramatic drama queens, just so we can all be very clear because we're on the internet and people are watching it.
Yeah.
Thank you guys for doing this.
Thank you. And thank you for thanking. And thank you for appreciating. And thank you for being here. That's it. We're done. So
For now.
until next time,
Which there won't be for me, but yes.
good game and stay wonderful, internet.
Stay wonderful.
Stay wonderful, internet.